It's time for Dave's Cash Showdown. Time for you to throw down. Winning in a minute, answer 10. Dave comes in and answers them again. If your score's inferior, then Dave will reign superior. It's time to play around.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Of Dave's Cash Showdown.
Dave's Cash Showdown.
All right, it's going to be Paul that plays today. Paul, nice to have you with us. Happy Friday. I know you've played before, right? What's your story?
A little bit. So I was Paul that reached out to you about doing the whole having somebody come in and see your show and
Okay.
yeah, but I don't know. That's all I got.
Are you on the text line, Paul?
What was that?
Are you? Do you text in a lot in the morning? Are you the one that lets them know that we're on the air?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
All
very,
right.
Paul's very important to us.
Yes, very, very important.
He's kept us on track and everything.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if you heard
Right,
this or
yeah.
not, Paul, but Molly does have the 10 questions, and the first question is going to be worth $5.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's some major money.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
major money, all right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's like almost a gallon of gas today.
Almost.
is
You're
almost.
very close.
Yes.
You're very
Yes.
close. All right, I'm going to leave the studio. Molly has the questions. I'll
Mm-hmm.
return to try my luck. Good luck, Paul.
All right, Paul. So the money question is right at number 1. It's the first one out of the chute, so you have to be ready. Be prepared, okay?
All right, I'll do my best.
Okay. Are you good at trivia in general? Hello?
What was that?
Oh, I said, are you good at
Hello?
trivia in general?
Oh, I have a lot of useless stuff.
Perfect.
We'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. Are you ready to throw down on the showdown?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Here we go. Here's your money question. Over or under 10, how many people did John Rambo kill in the First Blood movie? The First Blood movie.
Under.
Dang it. What is the name of the heavenly long and thin noodle?
What was that?
What is the name of the heavenly long and thin noodle? Kind of pasta.
Angel hair.
What star of The Breakfast Club was also part of the cast of the TV show The Facts of Life?
Nope. Got nothing.
Okay. What city was founded by Brigham Young in 1847?
Salt Lake City.
How many arms does a typical snowflake have?
8.
What is the capital of Peru?
Crap.
Crap is the wrong answer, Paul. Sorry.
That's what I thought.
What is the primary ingredient in a hoe cake?
Egg.
What do blue laws prohibit certain activities? When do they prohibit certain activities? Blue laws.
Overnight.
Okay. What type of dog is Handsome Dan, the mascot of the Yale University?
Bulldog.
And John F. Kennedy was a member of which political party?
Republican.
All right. You got through them all. We'll see how Dave does on his birthday celebration. How'd you do, Ken?
I did pretty good.
Did you?
I also came up with crap.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it
So-
was wrong.
So we might have had a tie on one. I'm not sure.
Spoiler alert.
Thank you.
Oops, sorry.
Thank
It's wrong. That's not it.
Okay.
As far as I know, there's no capital city called crap.
Oh,
But,
all right.
you know, that was one of the
What did I
answers.
miss?
Ah, that's all right. Dave is back, so don't say anything, Paul.
How'd it go,
And
Paul?
we'll see how he does.
Did he win $5?
He did.
Oh,
I did fantastically.
I
Yes.
like it. I
Yeah.
like it. And there's money flying around like
Yeah,
crazy here.
boy. Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, my turn to play. I get 10 questions. Here we go.
Okay. In the movie Rambo: First Blood, over or under 10, how many people did John Rambo kill?
Over.
What is the name of the heavenly long and thin noodle?
Angel hair. And it's under on the Rambo.
What star of The Breakfast Club was also part of the cast of Facts of Life?
Ooh, I don't know that.
What city was
Ali Sheedy? No.
What city was founded by Brigham Young in 1847?
Salt Lake.
How many arms does a typical snowflake have?
8.
What is the capital of Peru? Hint, it's not crap. That's what both of them said.
P. It's not crap. So, no, guess not. No.
I get it. What is the primary ingredient in a hoe cake?
Careful. Bread.
When do blue laws prohibit certain activities?
When?
Like-
Usually on Sunday.
What type of dog is Handsome Dan, the mascot of Yale University?
He is a bulldog.
And John F. Kennedy was a member of which political party?
Kennedy? Democrat.
All right.
Oh, Bush just adding up special. Did I win $5?
Yes, but I think you cheated.
No, how do you
You
cheat?
changed your answer.
Cheated a little bit.
Well, I just thought.
It was 50-50, and you used both of them. That doesn't work.
Yes.
Well, I
you,
changed
Paul.
over to because I was thinking like secretly he didn't really kill people.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Not as
excuses are for people that need them.
Yes.
Final score, Dave wins 6-4. And I'm out $10.
That works pretty good, doesn't it? All these great new sound
This is
effects.
so fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kate, for doing that for Dave. Yeah. So, how many people for another? No dollars. How many people did he kill? I should have just said how many people did he kill?
I think it's 0 in the first one. How many?
1.
I thought it was
Oh.
4.
No, he killed 1.
Oh,
I don't know who the person was, but he killed 1.
okay.
I'm getting from the studio audience is saying no, but I believe that's what the trivia thing
I
said.
can believe it.
You both got angel hair. I should have made this one my money question. Molly Ringwald was on Facts of Life and in The Breakfast Club.
I
Okay.
just didn't believe that.
I drew a blank. All right.
Salt Lake City, you both got that. It's 6 arms for the flake, the snowflake. You both guessed 8. Neither of you got Lima. You both said crap.
Oh, I know that.
Yes, Lima.
Peru.
So many of these, if I was multiple choice, I'd get them all.
Well, that
You know.
yeah, but
But it
and
changes
then
the game a little
A
bit.
hoe cake, it's cornmeal. A hoe cake is just a corn. It's like a corn flapjack.
All right.
It's popular in the South.
I would have said potato, maybe a potato
Yeah.
cake.
Sunday for the Blue Laws, very good. Then you both got Handsome Dan as a dog. There is a whole documentary about Handsome. Have you ever seen that documentary about Handsome Dan? It's so how the bulldogs get trained and how they retire and then the next one comes in. It's great.
Wow.
Anyway, that's from Yale University. And then John F. Kennedy was a Democrat. Yeah, I was a Democrat. I would like to say. So,
Sorry, that was before my time.
yes, well, of course. Anyway, congratulations from our friends at Numerica, proud sponsor of Dave's Cash Showdown.
The American Credit Union, they are the only credit union that was mentioned in the John F. Kennedy speech. In fact, he said, ask not what you can do for your credit union. Ask what your credit union can do for you. And they can do everything. The American Credit Union does everything. In fact, they were the inspiration for many things, including Handsome Dan, the Yale Bulldog. Even Handsome Dan has a Numerica debit card.
Is that right?
Not a lot of people know that.
I see.
Yeah. John Rambo had one on him during the entire movie. So a lot of people.
And 5
America
free
Credit Union.
cups of Dutch Love from Kevin Parker. Thank you. Spokane's Dutch
Yeah.
Bros.
That's
Thank you.
Oh.
Pro.
Thank you, Paul.
So Paul won $5. I won $5. A lot
Yes.
of money flying out the door. It's very exciting.
Yes.
Molly's going to be broke by the end of the day.
I know. Well, yeah, wait to see what's happening next. Well,
Oh.
not next, but a little bit later. But it's something that's going to happen. We'll say goodbye to Paul. And then I'm actually going to bring in the studio audience. If you could come sit here and please bring the bag of instruments with you. It's hidden behind that
Something's
picture.
about ready to
Yeah,
happen.
something's going to happen. Paul, thank you. Have a great day. Send in your info.
Live from the Numerica studio and brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. It's the Dave and Molly Show.
Or is it? Good morning, everybody. It is the Dave and Molly Show, but today Dave's taking the day off because of his birthday. My brother Tom Fridley is standing in with me.
Hello, everybody.
Of course, we have Quinn here. It is
morning,
his
everyone.
final week on board, and I know people are upset. And I'd like to address the elephant in the room. People who sent in the crap and the pants emojis. I believe it was very clear that we were going to start an hour late today. And I think we did a live Facebook last night, and we showed everybody. I sent a group text to everybody this morning. So D&D Steve and let's see, who else was it? Somebody else. Ryan. I would like to say to you, no, I did not crap my pants. My brother was there, right? I did not.
I'm not, it was a long time in the bathroom before we got out. I wasn't real sure about that.
Now.
I could quit. By the car was odorless. I think that she's good. Good to go.
This time.
Yeah.
But so I just want to clear that up. We planned a late start because, we're just, it was actually a very relaxing morning.
Good.
Because usually we're here at 5:45, we do a TV hit, and then, we start here at 6. But today, we just relaxed. We were looking through old family photos this morning. It was
And then you
perfect.
forgot the phone at home.
Then I left my phone at home. We had to go back. And some people think that's code for oops, I crapped my pants, but it's not.
Yeah. Well, given your priors, I get the text from.
I had no idea until I first walked in. All of a sudden, on those poop
Yeah.
emojis, I was,
Yeah.
what the hell is that all about?
It's them.
Yeah.
It's them being. They're making.
priors.
I know I have priors. That's the thing we learned.
Yep.
But it was a great weekend, and so a quick recap of the weekend, and then we're going to get into other stuff. But last night, we'll start with last night. It was Dave's little gathering. They had
Yeah.
a gathering, and it was at this beautiful place in Post Falls on the river.
Yeah.
And
Where was it? What was the?
It's a friend's house.
Oh,
It was
okay,
at a
that's-
friend's
okay,
house.
yeah.
And so we showed up, but I had like 1 hour to be there. And of course, once I get there, all of these friends are showing up. And now I'm like, well, now I want to stay. I want to be here, but I had to go. So I think he was having a good time.
Good.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to report complete tankage because when I left, he was very fine.
Okay,
But
yeah.
it was only 4 o'clock.
Right.
So
So he had plenty of time to get
for
to
the tankage,
yeah.
yes. So we'll get the full results. But when I left here Friday and I left Dave for dead, I said, I know it's your birthday.
Yeah.
I understand that. But I've done all I can for your birthday, and now I am going out west. And I went out west with like $60 in my pocket. And I
Okay.
thought, that's all I'm going to do. I have to be careful. The dental bills have made a real dent in my gambling budget.
Sure.
And I was able to stay all the way until like 5 o'clock.
Wow.
It was fantastic.
Nice.
And I left with a little money in my pocket.
It's
So
a dream gambling day.
it is.
Yeah.
It's like, she told me about it last night. And I thought, if it stayed like that, you could just make a living that way.
Yeah.
And a pretty good living.
Why even go to work?
Yeah.
That's what. Well, Quinn is famous for his. I don't know if you've ever heard him talk about his units. So he has $15 units because he has to be careful with his money. He's getting
Yes.
married.
Yeah.
So tell
When you
Tommy.
said unit, I was
I
just
know.
like, okay.
I know that sounded bad.
So that's
Okay.
because if I ever go to I don't really play the card games or the slots. I only will ever really go to put in like a sports bet on something.
Oh, okay, got you.
And so I call it my unit of measurement for my bets and like professional gamblers use the term units, but I'm sure when they're putting down like $1,000 or $10,000 or something like that, and I don't have a lot of money and I need to be careful with my money, so my units are $15.
Yes.
I can see
Yeah.
you like being at the casino, and then there's like drunken people like, yeah, I'll take 50 on Uncle
Yeah.
Frank. And all of a sudden you're like this. You come up, I have an analytical bet to make. That would be $15. You'll take singles, correct?
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes if he has an extra $2.50, he'll be like, "I put $17.50. I did a unit plus
Yeah.
$2.50."
Like I got a little crazy and I did
Hands
the extra.
shaking.
Yeah.
$17.50, please.
So you can imagine the guys who are taking these bets, who are used to all of this. They're like, "Look at that kid."
Yeah, look at that. And I'll be like, I'll
We're
have
all
all of
rooting
my.
for you, Quinsters.
Yeah. I need all the help I could get. I'll do all my research, have like, well, I've got this one, that one, this one, and like act like I'm like some big serious guy, and I'll have $15 on each, please. Here's 45.
Part the line, anal, please. We'd like the anal gambler, please come forward. Everybody else back out of the line. That's okay.
Sometimes he does half a unit though.
Yeah,
He's like,
sometimes-
I didn't feel comfortable going a whole
Yeah,
unit
half
on
a
that
unit.
one.
Yeah,
so.
but yeah, I didn't feel comfortable. I only put $7.50. Sometimes it'll be like, yeah, I had $6.18 left, so that's what's on this bet. So it's all
You're like a retirement gambler. Like, I'm planning this for my future. You're like, it's like a stock market. I'm investing in this and only things with, low turns, but it's
Yes.
pretty for sure.
Yeah.
He's the responsible one. We have so many of the things that Dave and I do have rubbed off on him. We don't feel like he drinks quite enough yet, but he's
Right.
getting there.
Yep.
But we've turned him like the gambling and like all of our sayings. I said, you are the oldest young person in your group. All of our like sayings that we've been doing for years, all of our little bits. Now, all of them he does. And it's great. We've given him the gift of bits.
Yeah, well, and like I'd go to our marketing meetings after these shows and stuff, and I'd be saying little one-liners and making people laugh.
Right.
And then Olivia, who's in the marketing group, comes down to start learning the show because she's going to be taking over.
Right.
And she's just like, "You didn't come up with any of this. This is all from David. Like this is all their lines. This is all their material."
And we got it all from movies,
Yeah.
which he hasn't
And
seen.
now
'cause
he's
too young.
taking it on the road with them.
Yep.
Yes.
To
He's
move
gonna
to another
as my
dimension.
own.
take it to his next job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, by the way, I mowed my lawn, both lawns.
Wow.
Yes,
Again.
she did. I
Really?
saw them.
Wow.
But I did not know Tommy had to put on the. I have
She
the.
didn't realize it was a
basket.
self-propelled mower and been pushing it the whole time. I
no.
just clipped this down, and all of a sudden, wow, that's a big difference. I thought because the sweat goes away. You're
Yeah.
like, wow, these
oh.
craftsmen really are clever fellas.
Well, and I knew I had purchased a self-propelling, but I didn't know that it was that extra, that one on the bottom.
You just thought it did a really crappy job.
I
the
just
whole
thought
time.
I just had to really push it hard. I just thought that's what it was.
Right.
And so now I know it'll be easier. But also the basket I didn't have attached right.
Yeah, she had it
Oh,
still
no.
shut, so it was just spraying all the stuff all over. It was a lot of work. Plus,
There's
it was
mulching.
set really, really high, so it was like all the effort,
Oh, yeah.
minimum payoff.
That's
no.
right. That's right. I used it as a workout.
But it's cut. But the lawn
And
is
I
mowed.
used my weed whacker too. So I was all excited. So I'm out there and I think I'm doing a great job and I'm listening to my book and I'm all happy. And my neighbor comes up and goes, "Hey, yeah, like I say, you want some help making this place look, I could do some work out here." And I'm like, all right. I guess it doesn't look very good.
You need to put string on that thing.
Yeah, I did do that. But he said, maybe we could do some rocks or I wouldn't mind, kind of investigating, like doing some stuff for you. I'm out here anyway. I was like, I get it. Well, I got a text from him one day. I'm at the casino and he's like, "Hey, I'm out mowing my lawn. You want me to get yours too?" Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Please.
yes, I do.
Absolutely.
Yes, I do. But anyway, so that and then last night we had dinner with my granddaughters
Yeah.
and I had Alex over Saturday night. We had fun. He had been at Comic-Con. He loved it.
Oh, fun. Nice.
Yeah.
Was
They had
that-
a blast.
Was that here or was that?
Yeah,
did
it was in downtown.
Really? Okay. Oh, I didn't know. I was very unaware. of all that
Lilac
stuff going on.
City.
Oh, the Lilac City one.
Yes.
That's the
Cool.
same guy who does the horror one. The one that I
Yes.
did during October. They did one up here because the horror people are different than Comic-Con. It's like Comic-Con's more the Marvel-y kind of stuff, or
Right.
like it's just more superhero-y kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Opposed
Yeah.
to the horror stuff is a different
And
kind of.
cosplay is
Interesting.
big too.
Yeah.
Big cosplay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and we'll go through this, but Tommy was in Friday the 13th part. Well, he's been in a lot of movies,
okay.
but Friday the 13th part 6 was kind of the one where people like that's what they remember you from
Oh.
in the horror genre, right?
Right.
Yeah. Funny story on that. If
Yes.
you want. I did 3 horror movies. Okay. One was called Summer Camp Nightmare. The other one called, and the funny thing is this, there was a part of my career in 1986 where I worked like I had more jobs than I knew what to do with. And I had an offer. There was some movie of the week or something I was supposed to do. And then the agent called and said, you have a choice of, well, let's call it whatever. Bob's washing his car. I forget the name of that one. But the other one was called, do you want to do Phantom of the Mall? And I thought, this is right when Phantom of the Opera had been out. It was all this stuff. And I thought, wow, Phantom of the Mall, that should be like pretty interesting. And then I said, okay, I'll do it. Well, I thought it was Phantom of Them All, and it was Phantom of the Mall. Right?
The Sherman Oaks
Phantom
Galleria,
of the
where I
Mall.
worked at Hot Dog on a Stick.
Yeah, and the hot dog and the stick was in there. And I played this absolute worst kid's son, spoiled rotten. My father was the owner of the mall, and they shot it in the mall from Valley Girl, that mall.
That's right.
And Pauly Shore was in it. And
Pauly Shore. Oh my
and
God,
what's
I
her name?
forgot Pauly
Who
Shore's
I
in
love, Morgan Fairchild. was in it.
Yes.
Morgan Fairchild is one of the funnest people you ever meet. She grew up with all brothers. She has a filthy mouth. Funny girl, but she was just like one of the guys.
Yeah.
Smoked a cigar. She's on the set. She was like one of my favorite people of all time. But that was that was on the whole
I
thing.
remember you actually
awesome.
filming there when I was working at Hot Dog on a Stick. And I remember because they would film after it shut down.
Yeah.
And Stacey and I would be leaving and they would bring in all the camera crews in.
Right.
And so I was like, hey, I know. I'm not just the Hot Dog on a Stick girl. I know somebody in that movie. I
Yeah.
swear I do. And they were like,
I
yeah,
got
get out
so
of there.
beaten up on that because I've died in many ways. but this was at the top of an escalator, and you see the long shot down to the bottom of the escalator from up on the top floor, and it's empty. And I've been such a jerk to my father and all this stuff, and this Phantom of the Mall guy, for some reason, it's like I never know why Jason killed people. You never know why these people are out, but they've got a real, like, you know, they've got it out for these people.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you see me down there, and all of a sudden you see this rope, like, coming on the front of the camera, and all of a sudden you know what's going to happen. I'm skateboarding around, ropes me by the neck, yanks me off the board, then tucks it into the top of the escalator. So you know sooner or later it's going to take my head off.
Oh, God.
If you've ever tripped on an escalator ever, they're so hard, and they're this most solid steel. And I didn't have any pads on or anything. And I'm bouncing around trying to get off this. When I got done, I was bruised from head to toe. It was like one take. I was like, I got to go home. I was so beaten up. And it was just like faking this whole thing. But that was the most painful. It was like I'd really died.
Well, when he was in Friday the 13th Part 6, that was before, you know, any kind of internet, any kind of watching it at home, really.
Yeah, right.
So we had to go to the movie theater to watch it. And none of us like horror movies. We're all deathly afraid. So we go, and luckily he's in it quite a bit, except that then we have to watch him. He's doing it with a girl. So that was like, Mom and I are like, well, there he is. There's brother. Look, doing it with a girl. And then Jason like stabs him in the head and it kills him. And it's so bad.
And I flipped the motorhome over top. It's just this still shot just goes, it's music's going, Alice Cooper. And all of a sudden it's like, I look in the mirror and you see me in the reflection of him. And it's like, oh no. And next thing is this, and I'm dead. And then the whole motorhome flips over.
But how does he survive it? Because Jason's in the motorhome with you.
He doesn't die. You can't kill him.
Oh, that's true.
And they actually brought Darcy back, the girl that got her face smashed in a thing, and then the whole thing rolls over, and somehow she made it too. She's in another sequel-y thing, and somehow she made it. I'm like, oh my God. I had a vision of doing a really funny thing to where it was a kind of a, like if it's takeoff on all the Friday the 13th, but it was all the people who died in them, and they're all back to life. So I still have the knife in my head, and I forget my name, and I'm like a little bit wearing, and I have like a hat that has the holes and the big things that cover up the ends of the knife, and it's like having this like this, and it was just a silly idea of that. And then
You would be like that show Ghosts that I haven't really watched it, but it's how they die. They're like an arrow in their neck or whatever it is. Like that would be funny.
we also had it. This I thought was a clever idea. Since we died in the motorhome, Darcy and I thought, what a funny thing if we went on tour and what we did is this. We're in the motorhome driving, doing like a podcast thing. And what happens is we've somehow put a beeper on Jason. And we know like when he's getting close, and we'll like say, you know what, we could probably crash for a little while. You go to sleep and all of a sudden the alarm doesn't go off like, oh my God. It's like, oh, and you see when the beeper, and next thing you know, it's just, his hands are like, just get to the bumper and pull it off. We're like, oh my God. And we're like in a bar sitting there drinking. Also like, he's almost here. We ran out the back. He comes in and kills everybody. We take back off of the motorhome. So it's they're always after us, and we're always escape every week. But it'd be hilarious. It's good. Like the radar back in the day, it goes, do, do, do,
Yeah,
do. You see him getting
yeah.
closer, and he's always trying to get it off. And to catch up with us, like he's just walking down the freeway like, because he never goes very fast.
No.
But all of a sudden he'll like grab on the side of somebody's window and you know, he's like coming after us, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, open your door. And then he flies off, and he's just real stupid. He's
What
always
if
after
it's
us.
Friday the 13th, Jason tracked? Or Jason never quite gets their person. I always wondered about how he was so slow. I have to quickly address this. Mom and Tiffany are watching, and you need to close YouTube and open it again, and then it will be on there. It's showing the last episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, they're watching. They're here and they're watching. I get distracted. I'm like, well,
It's just Mom and Tiffany.
no, other people are watching, but they didn't know how to do it, so I'm just telling them.
Hi Daisy,
I had to
that's
close
my
it
dog.
out.
Hi Daisy.
Yeah. There we go. See, you can see us on the YouTube, and then Quinn's up in the corner. Tommy's worried. He's like, is he going to be in the room with us? Where's he going to be? Is he just like phoning in from somewhere
I
else?
wasn't sure because I thought like we'll pull up a seat like when I thought the other day when her Ken was on, it was so crammed.
Oh my God, I know. We had too many people. Some may say too many people.
Yeah, I know when I came in, Molly gave my little brother whatever chair we put him in, and then Ken was in here, so Ken was sitting there, and then the other Ken was in here, and he had the other chair, so they're like, you guys need a chair, and we only have our 4-minute break, so I just went on my knees and just stood next to the
He
table.
was just nailing down the whole time.
You know what's funny? I was saying to Molly this morning, I'm surprised she doesn't. You know who Theo Vaughn is? The comedian.
Yeah.
It's a very funny guy. He's so down to earth that he's it's like Bill and Ted, like in Bill and Ted. But he's so really like not really sharp, but he's so funny. And he'll go out and for his podcast, which does huge, he'll like go out and he got his hair cut or something. He'll bring the barber in. He goes, you gave me the best haircut and you were so nice. And then said, instead of tipping you, I figured I'd put you on the show with me. And he just goes, and he would interview somebody and do a whole thing about like how kind they were. And it was like as if you had like once a week you had like one of the guests just come on in and like, here you like, you know what I mean?
Oh, we've had some people on. We've had some. We have a lot of our sponsors on, which is great because then you get to hear about all their stuff. But I'm trying to think of people that we've had on through the years that are just people we know, and just because. Well, we have regular listeners that we have on that are fun, but I kind of like that idea. It's a little scary when you work in a building like this because we have other people to answer to.
Right. Yeah.
And if all of a sudden they just do something crazy, it's like, sorry.
They come in
Did that make it on TV?
Pushing their cart in.
Yeah. And they have like news anchors out there going, what are they bringing people
I know
in?
you. I know you. I know, I get it.
Well, let's finish with the weekend. I want to find out, how was your weekend with your family? How did it
was
go?
fun. It was really good. So everyone came in from the East Coast. Maddie had her big wedding dress shopping Saturday afternoon.
Did she find one?
Found a dress. I think everyone in my family, her family, Kaya's family have all seen the dress, but I don't get to. Yeah, so that's hard for me because if you guys remember from my proposal, I don't do well with secrets. I usually am blurting them out and giving away information right away. So I want to know everything, but I can't. So, but that went really, really well. It was very, very fun. They had a great time.
Good.
Said they were treated like queens and all that stuff, which was good. And then Friday, we just kind of spent the day all together. Like my family came in. So we took my little brother and my parents. When Maddie went to the airport to pick up her friend, I took them down to where we're going to get married down below Clinker Dagger and just kind of showed them the area. We walked around Riverfront Park a little bit because they've seen it, but my little brother hasn't seen it that much. So kind of showed him the downtown, and then we went and had a big barbecue over at Maddie's parents' house.
And then you excused yourself so you could watch the rest of the
We did excuse ourselves because my dad's a big Knicks fan. My little brother's just a big basketball fan. He actually roots for the Celtics, but he's a big basketball fan.
When
And
you're
then
risking $15,
Yes.
you need to pay complete
when you have a
attention.
$15
Sometimes it's a unit half, Tommy. Sometimes he goes 20 to
I
50.
have 2 full units invested in this series. I have $30 wrapped up in this series, so I'm an investor in it. And so we're sitting there. I told my little brother going into it, I'm like, it's basketball. Like, there's going to be more games on Monday. Like, it all like. We're with the family. We're with Maddie's people. Like, we got to just stay out. Like, just be
That's
good.
a big weekend.
It is. And so I was like, if the game gets super close late, maybe we'll go in. About 6-7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Me and my dad and Liam, I think I asked Vicky, I said, Vicky, do you mind if we go inside and watch the rest of the Knicks game? And she was like,
May I watch
please?
my units?
Yeah.
Your daughter's future depends on it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I was paying that wedding photographer depends on this right
That's
now.
right.
So.
If we hit, we get to go to the bigger package and the flower package. If not,
if not, I'm getting a friend. But yeah, so that went well. So we did that, watched the Knicks game, and so it's always fun for me with because we grew up just watching all sorts of basketball. So it was kind of a fun little throwback to us watching games together, which was cool. And then we went out Saturday while they were doing dress shopping with my dad, brother, and then Maddie's dad, Carrie, and we went and did the Tubbs Hill hike over in Coeur d'Alene. So. Went over.
You had a really big weekend.
Yeah, we were all over the place, and it was pretty jam-packed right up until they left. So we did that, did the whole Tubbs Hill thing, and then we went into the Moose Lounge in Coeur d'Alene. Yeah, and went in, got ourselves a drink, and kind of hung out there on the street.
You should go upstairs. It's unbelievable in that place.
I had never actually been, and
Isn't it
always popping.
Am I thinking of the same place? The Moose. Is that the one that's?
are you thinking of I think you might be thinking of the one that's the one that like you have to be a member.
Yeah. I'm thinking of that.
Oh.
I can't think of that one.
What's the military where they do the retirement? It's the lodge,
they're
something lodge.
Okay.
Something
Yeah.
lodge. But
I'm sorry.
The
No,
Moose
that's all
Lodge
right.
is on the corner there,
Yeah,
right?
so that big red building on the corner, kind of
Okay.
your like classic kind of like dive bar
Yeah.
looking, but like really, really cool little spot. So we hung out there, grabbed a drink while they finished up, and then we went over to Craft and Gather in the Valley and got a big table and spent
Aw.
most of the rest of the night there. And
Wow.
then there was all sorts of Kaya's brother had a grad party that we also so there was just all sorts of other little
That sounds
extra
like a
things.
week's worth of stuff you crammed
a
into
lot.
weekend.
It was because Dave had his party yesterday, and I was really in my head. I was like, I know it's going to be a busy weekend, but I would really like me and Maddie to try to get out there. Our family's all leaving. Like last people left about 3-4 ish in the afternoon, so we're out
That's
towards
a
the airport.
lot.
and we just crashed. Like we came back and we were like, let's just stop home and we'll see how we're feeling. And we never moved again. We laid down and I was asleep, I think by like 7:30, starting to nod
It's
off.
too much. It
So-
is too much. This is this was the first weekend I've been home in 5 weeks.
Really? Oh my
Because
gosh.
I was on the
Yeah,
trip
right.
and then we had
Right.
camping and then we had Brandy
Sheesh.
Carlisle. I
Yeah.
think it's 4 or 5 weeks. So that's why I got so much stuff done. I
Right.
couldn't believe when I'm not at the casino. I'm not saying I shouldn't not be at the casino. What I'm saying is that when I'm not at the casino, I get so much done.
Right.
And when I'm home because I had the kids.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's food for thought.
It is food for thought.
Yeah.
Your friend Beth is watching from
Oh.
Chicagoland.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yes.
Beth. Beth is such a sweet person. She's been such a good friend. She's a really, really nice lady.
D&D Steve has a good name for your TV show, Jason's Radar.
Oh, that's great.
Friday the 13th. Jason's Radar.
I like it.
That's good.
Yeah, I like it.
So
Excellent.
when I said that
Well done.
I was glad that, or when I said 7:00 this morning, you said,
Yeah.
"Amen, sister."
When you even mentioned that last week, I was just immediately like perked up and was like, yeah,
Yes.
7.
Yes.
7. Yeah, that's
Seven's
great.
good.
Yeah.
After my giant weekend.
Yes.
Because I was tired this morning even, but I'm like, I don't know what I would have done if we were starting normal time. It would have been
know.
a rough morning for sure. So extra
know.
hour went a long way. It was
We
really
were.
nice.
I was very, very well behaved all weekend, and had no reason that I couldn't sleep. I don't know what that was about. Although I think it's the polyester sheets, or that my sleep vibe came undone.
Oh, well,
I
that
think
will
it
do
may have come
Yeah.
undone. I know, but also I bought cheap sheets.
Yeah, the
I don't
cheap
know.
sheets can make a big, huge difference.
don't
Because
like
you
it.
haven't always had the vibe thing, right? I mean, you have had good night
Right.
sleeps before that. and
Yes.
that's it. But yeah, crappy sheets in your polyester is not a good thing for your body, period.
I
It really
know.
is not.
And your top sheet was polyester last night. Your bottom sheet was
I
pure
slept
cotton.
3 hours.
So he slept in the kids' bunk bed last night. But it's a cozy
I
mattress.
woke up to. Oh my God! I got to get out from underneath the sheets, and it was just like my foot was starting. It was catching fire, smoke from the friction of that polyester.
No.
It was crazy. No, it was very cozy. I almost it's like the first thought was like, I want the dog to come in and stay with me because
I
I'm so
know.
used to my dog sleeps with me every night. And so,
She was
but
with
your dog.
me.
So I got to know your dog really well. Now that really sweet animal.
She
She's a
is.
lovely dog. Really
She's just protective at first. When
Yeah.
he first met her, it was when we first got her last
Yeah.
summer.
Oh, in the motorhome. That was a
And-
bad way
yeah,
to meet a dog.
because he came in and she
Right.
was just like super protective. But now she's just, and the kids were there. So yeah, you got to see the girls. I got to see
Oh,
all
good.
my babies
Oh yeah, we
this
played
weekend.
ball out front.
Oh, fun.
Playing catch.
Oh,
And
good.
I said, "You ready for a spiral right to the numbers?" And Scarlett just looks at me like, "Yeah, I don't understand you, Grandma." And then between the two of us, they
They
just
can
look
throw,
at
both
us.
those little girls have unbelievable arms.
I know.
Yeah.
Just throw the ball crazy fast.
Nice. That's
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
athletes.
got them signed up.
Yeah.
Well, and
I know we-
it was funny because Scarlett was playing basketball. So I was sending, because Quinn has played basketball, coached basketball, done all of it. So I sent him a little clip of her dribbling. I go, a lot of heat on number 9 at Salk Middle School at the Saturday morning YMCA game. He's like, oh, okay. I said,
We're
so
going to start training her here in a couple years. We'll get her in.
futures bets.
Yeah.
Be watching him.
Yeah. I'll make a Rory McIlroy, that story that Dave told us where his dad like went and put a bet on him as a little kid.
He did?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't
something
know
like
that
that.
story.
Like
Yeah.
before it was like he found somebody that was like, my kid's gonna win a major by whatever year.
Oh
and
my
he did. I'm
God.
gonna do that with Scarlett and be like, this kid's gonna get drafted to the WNBA by whatever year, and that's what we're gonna do.
What if Scarlett came up to you with her phone and said, "Hey, is this you when you were swimming and your pants fell off and you had to keep swimming? Is this you? Is that because it's got like a lily white butt?
Yeah, it looks like a really white cheeks. No, I believe all those video and pictures have been
Boy, how
scrubbed by my
ambitious you
mother.
are.
Have they? Are you sure?
Yeah, if
That
they even
is funny.
existed. But yeah, that was like, she's like, nobody can know that happened. And I, as a little kid, I'm like, man, show my buddies. That's really cool. I just swam my pants down.
my little pants off.
Yeah.
What dedication.
So now, what did you do this weekend
Yeah.
before you came to me?
After that,
Well, I know. Well, it makes you feel lazy,
I
doesn't
took
it?
a nap and a timeout, and then I went. This weekend, let's see. You know what happened is I unloaded. I have a whole lot of motorcycles that I had that I was.
Oh,
had up
speaking
for
of that,
sale.
you use
Boats
this
and-
platform.
You know
Yes.
what? Now I'm thinking if I'd only put like the pictures
Oh
of the
my
boats
gosh,
up and everything
for
like this.
sale.
I'm telling you, we can bundle them up, no problem, and head them up to your house. And they're like, let's make a deal. So I sold 6 motorcycles in like a day. I had like 13 of them, and I had them because it was supposed to be a business, and I had a mechanic guy that was basically I'd buy him. I knew how to buy him at the right prices. Then he would come and I'd pay for the parts. He'd make them run, and then we'd split the profit. So there was no risk to him whatsoever. We did 2 things. We did a couple boats. He made a couple $1,000, and somehow that's going to last him the rest of his life. So that was the end of that. And then so I had all this back inventory. So now I become like the YouTube, like this, like the difference between old 2-stroke boat motors and then like 4-stroke motorcycles, all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm in way over my head. It's a bargain basement today, folks. Let's take it.
Everything must go. It's Tom Ridley's warehouse of
And my mom
motorcycles.
likes to remind me about each and every day. They're out there. Like, get that Quonset cleaned up. So bottom line is, I think I made her. She said, I've never slept so well in the longest time, knowing that those bikes are gone. And I had no idea that it would make that kind of effect on her.
It was renting space in her head. This
Oh,
whole
big
time.
time. Yeah. And it's
well,
not, the
but
boats
if you
are-
do need, you know what's funny? Tim Adams, who the Spokane audience loves Tim Adams.
Yeah.
Tim Adams, he just went through a big health scare and he came out the other end. He's doing great.
Yep.
But we love, he works here at KHQ. One of the first boats that you bought in your thing
the
was
red
from
one.
Tim Adams.
Absolutely. I went out there. I went all the way out to Medical Lake, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
He was a really, really nice guy. He was
Yeah.
talking all about you in the past, and he'd
Yeah.
missed all that stuff, and he really had a wonderful time with you. Yeah.
So now that's
Really
what
nice
got
guy.
it all started, Tim Adams. Just
Do you
so
know
you
what?
know.
He actually came, I think, to one of Mom's shows, and he was there. He did.
totally. Yeah,
he was
totally.
there.
Cool.
Yeah, and he came up, and it was like I had to put the place. Like, that's the
Yes.
boat guy. Oh my gosh, I remember. But yeah, he was a really nice guy. We hugged
super
goodbye. We spent like a couple hours, had to plop the tires up and everything. It had been sitting for a
Yeah.
long time. But it ran. I got it home. I got it running, cleaned it all up.
See? So if you're you're in the market for a motorcycle or boat, just call Tom.
They're little, like Glastron boats, like 14 foot. I have a bass boat. I've got a speedboat, a CV-16. That's the kind that was in the James Bond movie that jumps over the thing. That's a very sought after. These are all kind of collectibles. The motorcycles, I'm down to if you know motorcycles, to 2 Kawasaki KZ650 SRs. They're 1978, 79. Need carburetor work, stuff like that, but they're really in really good shape. And I've got a couple of those. And a couple other dirt bikes. You know what? If they text in their phone number, I'll call them back and let you know. If you're interested in any of that stuff, I'll send you pictures. And think about it this way: you'd be helping Ellen get a better night's sleep.
You know how much Ellen, our mom, Ellen Travolta, she is a local treasure. And don't you want her to sleep better tonight?
Yeah.
I mean, don't you? Right? That's in fact.
What a treasure! It's true. I've never really seen it that way, but
Well,
Mom, you
people
are a
say
treasure.
that. Somebody sent, let's see, I got to find Candy. So Candy sent in some stuff for you. She had some questions for you.
Okay.
And I don't think she realizes that. She said, welcome to Spokane. Enjoy your visit. But,
well, it was a 30-mile drive in from Coeur d'Alene, so thank you.
He lives in Coeur d'Alene. Obviously, it has a Quonset hut at my mom's house full of motorcycles that she needs him to get rid of. So, so Candy has some welcome to Spokane. Okay, what was your favorite film that you were in?
As far as the acting, like as far as the part and things like that, was a thing called War Story for HBO.
yeah.
It was a Vietnam story of if we came back from Vietnam, and it was called Home. And it was like I didn't have a right arm. I was missing. All of us were missing limbs and had all kinds of problems. And they had the actual real guys from Vietnam that were the actual characters we were playing that they wrote about were on set. So you were doing them, and it's like talk about you had to follow that respect. Like so, they made us literally after the arm would be all taped back and all these things. And I'm pushing a guy who's got no legs, and they dropped us off at a park. They said, "Watch the way the public reacts to you." And it was like you're going. People grab their kids and pull them away from you because it looked like because I'm hustling along, and it just looked like it was crazy how crappy people got treated. These are the Vietnam vets, so it made it a lot more. We had to do that like the first couple days. We just go to the mall. They dropped us off places with wheelchairs and going, and it was really crazy. The director did a great job. So that's my favorite piece of like, as far as like acting wise, it was
You're
probably
really
the most
good in that.
It was the most dramatic. It was a really good, challenging role that you could really deeply get into.
Yeah.
There's more fun roles and things,
Like?
and more fun. Well, fun is like what I did for our Uncle Joe directed movies. I did a movie
Oh,
called
yeah.
Hard Vice and a
Oh, yeah.
movie called Navajo Blues for him. And that's fun because these movies were such low budgets called kamikaze movie making. So what you do is you come in, you do a scene, you dress back in your work clothes, go start building sets, and I mean even do some stunt driving. It was like stuff. He would go to like to rent cars, so because we couldn't afford to like wreck cars. So hope he doesn't get in trouble for this now, but go to like Avis rent a car to get full insurance on it, like this.
No.
Flip the thing off, boom. I believe that. I believe that did happen. And, Al Goda, the
Probably
driver.
not.
Yeah,
Probably not.
But
No.
that was the thing that you go back. In
I
the
love
days.
that though, that you're like doing craft service. You're like, you have bagel with
Yeah,
cream cheese,
bagels.
bagel. Oh, Tommy, you're wanted on set.
God, I need
It's-
makeup. You're like, I'm getting all over the bagel. There were a couple times, there was a couple scenes where it's like I had the wrong clothes on. And I came back. One of them, I had a full, and it was shot out of sequence, and I had a full goatee, and then next scene, I got nothing. And then I got the goatee back again. It was just like the kind of things they didn't pay any attention to. Navajo Blues with Sammy. And it literally is a scene to where we did it, the same scene, but the reverse was the next day. So I'm in the same scene. In one scene, I'm like, you know what I'm doing? And then he talks to me back, and all of a sudden I got no goatee. And he's back. It was like one of those things. It was just, it was like unforgivable. But it was pretty funny.
You know what? Later, I'm going to text you our scene. You can put it up. Maybe when we go to break, you can see. I filmed our scene, and I'm going to send it to Quinn for the movie, for Johnny's movie.
Yeah. Did you
Because-
see with Sheila? She goes, you and Tommy nailed it. And like all the things. He goes, he did wonders with that telephone. And it was like, because
But the beauty of it is it's one scene, and seriously, John and Mom are like crying. They're behind this camera because Mom was watching. And the cool thing was when we did, and obviously it's the #1 movie on Apple. It's doing really, really well. It's the Propeller movie. But Tommy and I both had just one scene, but we were there the whole week. So everybody's watching everybody do their scenes. And when it was time for us, Mom and John are behind the camera. Ella was there, and everybody's watching. You know, we're all supportive,
it was
and
an
they're
amazing
like,
experience like
I
that.
know, but they're like, our babies are so good. They're so good. And John he'll just text me randomly. So you're an actress, huh? And I'm like, I said, I think it's the most important line in the movie. And he's like, yes, absolutely. But it was really fun to be in the same scene.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it is cool.
I'm trying to think if we've ever done any. I know have we ever done anything else? Like, we haven't really done anything on stage or anything together, really.
Home videos.
Lots of home videos.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing we'll get
Oh
into.
my gosh.
We had so much fun. That's back with the big camcorders with the full VHS sitting inside of them. And I remember I was so thankful that Christmas, when we did in Santa Barbara, I think,
Yes.
and when we did up there, I got this Panavision. It was said digital on it, which was like, it wasn't like, or HQ or some HD.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really, high definition. It was just,
Right.
there was like the lettering on it. But I shot so many videos, and all my friends that would come over from the block, they all had crazy characters, and we did stuff, had so much fun with that thing. And there was no editing. It was just, you hit pause and then switched over and then unpaused it. And then that was the cut. And it was like, and it only lasted like 15 seconds. And it would just stop and it would go back to like, it would let you pause for like, so, change that clothes, change the hair. And you'd be back. And it was like, it would cut and just, but it was.
You would have appreciated it, Quinn,
I would
because
have, yeah.
Quinn as a kid, he and his brothers, he has a couple. Well, he has the real Quinn Shady, an entire 5.5 minute video, which some might say is too long.
Some might say it's about 4.5 minutes too long.
Some might say.
Some might say.
Some might
Who
say it
are
was
these
pretty
people
close.
that are
But
speaking like
then
that?
he had like Tim Horton,
Yeah,
Tim
we did a
Horton
Tim
video.
Horton parody. We
But
did all sorts of stuff.
They did videos, but Tommy and his friends they had the burglar, which he had a scheme. He had like stockings. Then you had Trina the ballerina, which was his friend James in a ballerina costume.
Oh my
type
God!
thing.
He had a skirt. He had to wear a skirt and a blonde wig, and the first cut is down like on his crotch, and he wasn't wearing anywhere. And he crossed his legs, and he crossed them out, and he was just hanging out. There he was, like Trina's really a dirty girl. And he was, oh, but we did the Albert Einstein Comedy Hour. We have Brady Bunch syndrome and Puff and Stuff syndrome.
Yes.
Puff and Stuff. There you go, Beth. You were asking about Puff and Stuff.
We got to talk all about our bad
Yeah.
shows. Tommy and I have a whole theory about, like, I get teased for watching the Brady Bunch every day of my life, and it is. But
Right.
as Tommy pointed out one time, and I think it was to the Three's Company theme song, he said, nothing bad can happen when the Three's Company theme song is playing. It's just
It's like
puts you in
comfort
a
food.
world. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
everything, and we were really the first generation of kids of divorce, really.
Yeah.
And where we had a lot of time at home because once you're of age, you know, you let yourself in and you're home and you're eating bad food and you're watching bad reruns on TV and
No more baseball practice.
no more baseball practice. No more outdoor activity.
Right.
As
It was
we
all
had.
about, here you go, Molly's story. But let's just say, and also if you wanted to stay home and you were like maybe a little sick and then you come home and like, I remember like walking in and Molly's like watching like that. I think of taquitos, those taquitos,
Oh, yeah,
those Marquise
Marquise
taquitos.
taquitos.
They were rolled and it had a meat slice of the dragon meat. God knows what was in that stuff. It was some sort of simulated. It was like a piece of bologna, super thin cut,
Yeah.
wrapped in there just enough to go like, oh, it's not just an empty shell.
Yeah.
And this guacamole, that was this green stuff that was like, it was in a packet. It was like, and you,
You
had,
had to
like,
defrost it. It was all frozen.
It was
Yeah, we don't know what it
avocado
was.
sauce. And it was
Yes.
like, whether there was avocado in it,
Right.
it tasted nothing. It really had a really kind of a horrible taste to it, but it just went with these things. If
You needed
tasted it
something
right now-
to
Right, yeah.
liquefy it, like
Yeah.
to lubricate
To
the
get that
taquito to
dragon
get it
meat
down.
down.
Well, and then
dry.
we used to have the coffee cakes. So there were times where if my mom she was doing a play, and then we were old enough to be home alone, but she would leave money for us, which instantly my 20. We each get 20. Tommy would take my 20, give me back a 10, and then that's just how the weekend went. That he got 30 and I got 10. Fair enough.
He's just teaching you to be.
Fair enough.
Hold on. Let me go back to the actual
Fair
things.
enough.
I
Because
think what would happen, realistically, ultimately, all that money would turn into quarters and go to the arcade.
my
That's
$10 would
'cause, I
totally
mean,
turn into that.
Because I didn't have a car yet, so it was that.
Well, but then it was later when you did
Think of
have
it
a
this
car
way.
and
You were
I had the
3 years
fake
younger
ID.
than me, so I started deducting. I'm going, if we start to, Mom hadn't thought about the
It's
percentages.
the older
are.
sibling tax. It's just, well,
Yeah.
hold on, you got to
Oh,
pay
this much taller.
yeah.
Let's see. I believe I can do this. I can make this work. And Molly, you should be happy with a 10. What the hell are you going to do
Plus
with a 10?
we had an account at the store.
Oh, yeah, that
and
was
back
fantastic.
then you could go up and say, my mom wants me to get a pack of Marlboro 100s and a pack of Marlboro Reds. All right, your mom sent you.
Yeah,
like,
we
all
could
right,
get
here you go.
We get steaks and
We
stuff.
could do
and, like,
whatever,
anything you
yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We couldn't get alcohol. But
No. Well,
once you're
no.
dressed up, we dressed her up in that Trina the ballerina wig and a bunch.
Yes.
Oh my God, she looked like a really hokey, like
A prostitute. It
Can I
looked like
say
an 80s
Taiwanese
prostitute.
prostitute?
I looked. Well, I had this leather jacket that I would do, and I'd roll it down so lots of cleavage, smear my makeup, wear the wig, and sort of stumble into the liquor store like I was already had a few. And then Tommy be in his little Spitfire waiting for me outside. And then I'd slide him this terribly fake ID, and he'd ask me, I get like whatever it was that Tommy wanted, and I'd put it on there, and then he'd say, "Can I get your ID?" And I'd say, "Oh, you are so sweet. Oh my God. Thank you for that. Thank you, young man." And then,
knew what you were doing.
yeah, and then I'd get back out and give him all this stuff. And then sometimes I got to hang out. Sometimes I didn't. Just depended on what was happening. But we used to have big gatherings. Sorry, Mom, when you were gone. And sometimes there'd be stuff out of place. Then Tommy had the brilliant idea of
taping and numbering the carpet when you take the chairs out. We put like number 3 and number 4. The only evidence there ever was of one of those big parties, and I had the big ones, John Manos naked jumping off the diving board, and Linda, is that we lost Jack's remote control.
that was
clicker.
my party.
Oh,
The
that was
only
your
party
party.
I ever had,
Oh,
ever, was
remember trying to find that, and there was no internet. And it was a
Oh, my
Sony.
God.
It was like $120 clicker. It was like ridiculous. And we
You
had to-
helped me pay for that. That was the one where we broke one brick off of the bar. We had to fix that. And then I get a phone call. I left and went to my boyfriend's house, and I get a call from Jack. "Hello, princess. Where's the remote?" And I was like, "Oh no."
It was pink too. It had a pink back on the. It was silver.
It got thrown away. It must have, because we were cleaning up desperately.
Yeah.
I had like all of a sudden 75 people at my house, and
Oh,
I was
it was
not
a lot.
popular. Like I did not know that many people, but they found out about my party. So Tommy's just like, and you helped me buy the remote. I didn't have that money to pay for it. We went to RCA or Radio Shack or something and bought a new remote.
It was the Red store, the what used to be now all that's left is Best Buy, but before that
It was
there
Radio Shack.
Yeah,
no?
it was Radio Shack. But Radio Shack, no, it's the. Darn it! It had a red thing, and it used to be they had the big. This brick, and they had the plasma TVs that were like $10,000, and they were just.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll remember, but anyway, yeah, we had it.
But you helped me. But
Yeah.
but the
That
brilliance
made up for
of
that $10 now, didn't it?
when I'm gonna make you laugh really hard in a second. But when he started spiking all of the furniture, we call it spiking in theater, and then you just knew where everything was supposed to go the next day.
That's
so I mean,
very smart.
You know,
That
there was.
It really was when a
Yeah.
party needed to happen. It got done.
But that
was
was mostly
efficient.
for your band.
Yeah. Because you don't even know, we have the whole, I'd bring equipment in, this haul in and haul out. Mom would be in Santa Barbara with Jeff for the weekend, and it was like, they'd leave us like, all right, let's get going. One time, there was one over at the Bessemer house, we had a party, and that was that ugly one where Greg had gotten in a fight with the guy.
Yeah.
We had a guy in my driveway at the high school, somebody got loose this, and I mean, hundreds of people showed up, and I had a guy named Paul. We used to call him Nitrous Paul because he had a nitrous oxide. He used to do that laughing gas in the back of this thing. And he was like 30, creepy old guy. And somehow you don't think when you're like 15 or 16, you don't think, this is really creepy. This guy will even hang out with me. But here he was, Nitrous Paul. So he sat in an old Dodge van, backed up with the back doors open, with a shotgun in a rocking chair. He had a gun and a shotgun. He just sat there. And it just sat against the thing like, you know what you're seeing. Move along. You know what you're seeing. Move along. And then he'd come up. He goes, this guy okay? Because really, like maybe 15 people were cool. And there was huge amounts of people to come in there. But I remember that's when Greg got in that really bad fight with that kid.
Paul. I forgot about Nitrous Paul.
And then there was Dean the party machine. He used to, this guy's like 35 too. We used to get him to buy us beer. But this guy, talk about creepy. He lived with his mom. He was like 35 and he rides a 3-speed. And he'd come up and you go like, and he literally, if you said, hey, Dean, you're like, it's Dean the party machine. And I'm like, okay, Dean. And we pull out a bunch of singles and change. And he didn't want beer. He'd like get you a case of beer, but like he needed to make like $5 on the deal. Because he was like, I think he sold pot or did whatever he did back in the days. And he's like, yeah, you know that's, and then I'm sitting there with another person, does he know I'm Dean the party machine? I said, he does now, Dean. He really does. And he'd try this 3-speed over, and then he'd try to like, picture this. It's in the middle of summer, a case of like Budweiser's in one of those, the cardboard thing. He's trying to balance that on a 3-speed. It's like, pretty soon, it's like he needs to get far enough away from the liquor store so he doesn't get in trouble. So as soon as he go, he got like this and all of a sudden his knee, they all fall over. Oh. Damn it. Come pick up your beer. Pick your beer up. And then he'd just ride off into the distance. And we're picking up beer, like some are going, shit, spraying out. Like, Dean, he didn't give us all like, your loss. And then you'd see him like sipping away as fast as he could, but he wouldn't stand up the pedal. Just as fast as he could sitting on the seat. And off Dean the party machine would go. He lived right around the corner from Bushel Basket. He lived right down the street.
Well, that was a perfect spot for him.
You know how we used to ride? Well, in the Bessemer house, did you ride to school on your bike ever from that?
Yeah.
Okay. When we crossed the railroad tracks, down where Scotty used to live there, he lived right across before you got to Leslie Butler's house, right there in the corner. And he was
Leslie Butler's house.
Yeah, but he lived right there in our old neighborhood.
We had two anchor we had Hillview Market and then Bushel Basket. So when we were at one neighborhood, it was Hillview. Then we moved to the other one.
They
it was
were
Bushel
identical
Basket.
positions on each street. Like you just go
right
up
there.
one street.
Yeah.
And they all had video games. Right when you walked in, you'd have a couple of different video game choices. Then we'd hang out at Confetti Liquor and play. You know,
well, the big thing was hanging out at Louis Hot Dogs.
Yeah.
Louis Hot Dogs was across the street, which reminded me of my first. I remember when in high school, I really, really didn't like school at all. I didn't like what they were teaching. I would get like AAFFF because I put both my your electives first and second period. So then I could split.
Yeah.
And my buddies would come up and they had driver's licenses and they come up to a place. What was that called? Government Way. There was that Lancers Lane. Lancers Lane. And
we were the Lancers.
Yeah, Lancers Lane. The stoners would hang out there, but then they'd come in and I'd be like, peace of mind. Mark Wallace used to pick us up. And he was a couple of years older than us, but he had a car and he was like, he'd pick us up. And then what would happen was we ditched a lot of school, but this is the scary part is that he needed to go to work at like 1:00. He worked at the pizza place. So what would happen is he'd pick us up at 10:30. James and I, this was my best friend at the time. So we both ditched. We both had the same first 2 periods. Get in the car with him, go back to his house. How we're watching TV and all that stuff. He goes, all right, I got to go to work. You guys are out. So now we're going to on the streets with the
2 hours.
2 hours
on
with
the street.
with the police. What do they call those police?
It was what was it?
Something
Truant officers. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And oh boy, that was the whole game. Like, wow. And every day we go like, let's not do this tomorrow. And then we do it again the next day. And it was just one of those things that we're going like, man,
we
I
had
don't
many
know.
a time where we were sitting in an alley just hoping that nobody would come down because that was the danger zone where they'd be looking for Okay, now I'm going to show you a picture.
Okay.
And then I want you to diagnose what this is.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to show the audience. This is from
See, I
our
kept thinking it'd go up on a
friend.
big screen.
No, that we can put other stuff. This is just. I want you to see the little thing says nyak nyak. You see
Who did that artwork?
That is our friend who sends stuff in. Here, I'm just going to let you see it for sure. He sends lots of stuff in, and that is just his artwork for today. That is Trevor, our listener number number 86. So.
So is that like a trivia question for me?
Yes. Now, what would you? It's like one of those Rorschach. What do you think of when you see
You see this image.
Okay.
when you see an angry girl underwater in her roller skates? Now, the only thing that's not right about this is Stacy was also in the water with me,
You're giving me a lot of hints.
and then there's a guy with a shirt that says Tommy pointing and laughing.
Who could that
Well,
be?
Now. Because I have no leftover. I mean, I'm.
do you
just glad-
remember this very clearly?
Yes.
This isn't one of your retro memories where I'm the bad guy and all of a sudden it's like, he's horrific.
No, the
For 50 bob.
the grapefruit incident we'll get into later. So we're going to take
Oh,
a break
you
here in a
damn
minute.
right we
But
will.
but this was from my remembrance.
Yes.
Stacy and I used to roller skate around the pool in the backyard.
Yes.
That's where we did our roller skating.
Yes.
I remember getting a gentle shove
Ah,
into the
but that
pool.
I thought do you want me to add to this at
Yes,
all?
go ahead. How did it happen?
Well, I
Did
like
I
to write
fall?
a well-deserved toddled into the pool. Well, this same pool I was just talking to Mom about this last night. We had a log runway on the side, like a dog run on the side.
Yeah.
Now picture the pool is just if it's long. So the skinny part of it, let's say it's about 15 feet across. You could run, and I'd take a boogie board, and I'd put
Yeah.
the boogie board right at the side, and you'd run and skid all the way across the pool. You wouldn't get wet, and you'd step off the other side.
Doesn't it seem like he's telling you a story to avoid answering this question?
Well,
Remember
it all
how
comes-
cool he was with the blanket board?
Here we're going. Here we
Okay,
go.
so
Here's how it goes.
So
anyway, I was doing at the same. They're rollerblading around and all. First of all, let's all be honest. Rollerblading around a swimming pool is dangerous. It's just dangerous.
He makes a good point.
It's not good. It's dangerous. So anyway, so to add to the tension. So I'm skidding across the thing, successfully going off, and as I remember, barefoot, I stubbed my toe really badly into the coping.
oh, now I've got it
Pain
coming.
happened. I'm coming around. I got a vent.
Yeah.
Now, you know how they say, like, go to a punching bag, hit a good, healthy thing. Like, so I'm in the middle, there's no punching bag. There's nothing there. So I'm just walking around, minding my own business, bloody toe. And all of a sudden I look up, and they're like, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. And if it was today, they'd have headphones on, but they didn't. They're going back like, Molly, like us. I'm like, as they come next to me, and I can't even tell. Now, let me tell you something. Trying to get out of a pool with rollerblades on is a very scary thing.
He did.
And I didn't really realize the
Yeah.
thing, like, because I pushed it, I'm starting to hop off the pool, and I'm just like, wow, that feels better. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking, like, so they're like, oh my God. I'm going, like, oh, stop whining, like, oh. That is problematic. I thought, I'll tell you what. So I'll give you. So then it was come up and you pull up, and then their wheels are trying to get out of the steps of the stairs, and they're slipping like deer in the headlights. With like it was like they were like Bambi.
We couldn't. We were like
Sliding
Bambi on
everywhere.
ice. We couldn't. You can't get any traction.
I challenge
You
anybody
can't.
to get out successfully without some sort of. So they'd come up, and all of a sudden it was a slip, and almost a now on the thing. So I had to.
Right.
Protect myself by holding them for getting in a lot of trouble. I had to like kind of get up on my knees so you don't slam your face when you're doing
Right.
this, and they're out. And it was like a big thing. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? I'm like, you know, I saved your lives. I just saved you. That was, what if an earthquake would have happened? You could have easily fallen in there. I wouldn't have been here.
I didn't realize that you had stubbed your toe, and I was just I
made
this
that
is the
all
first
up.
time hearing it.
I made that all up. There was no stove tubbing. I just looked at it. I went,
And
I
it
thought
just
I'd make
seemed
it
like fun. All right. Well,
Here it is.
We have to take a break. What?
I was bored.
You're okay. There we have
bored.
it.
Sorry,
Truth
folks.
comes out.
Maybe I am that bad.
Oh my gosh! All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll come back right at 8:00 with our SWX audience. So we're gonna take a quick break, and Tommy and I
I
are
need
gonna.
some time to think.
Yeah, we're gonna put him in timeout, but we do have entertainment news. We have Kalai is gonna join us a little bit later. I think maybe even Sam. It is the Dave and Molly Show from the New America studio with my brother Tom Fridley and the Quinn Star, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Good stirs.
No matter what you can imagine, no matter what you can possibly dream, no matter what your heart desires, Jewelry Design Center can make it for you.
We have fixed everything from eyeglasses to Super Bowl MVP trophies to all types of jewelry. When people are able to come in and watch things be worked on, watch their pieces, and be able to talk to the actual people that are going to be doing it, it gives such a confidence and an appreciation for what that is. They can do anything.
Jewelry Design Center, your jeweler for life.
Remember the 6'7" trend all the kids were doing not too long ago? Some say the trend is chopped, but Numerica is bringing it back. We're so sorry. And this time, your savings account will thank you big time. Introducing 6-7 Savings from Numerica Credit Union. The savings account earning 6% APY on your first $700. No minimum balance required, no complicated qualifiers. Just a simpler way to help your money earn more. Want to grow your savings even faster? Pair your 6-7 savings account with your Round Up to Savings. Every time you use your Numerica debit card, your purchases will round up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes straight into your 6-7 account. So yeah, the virtual trend may be questionable, but the earnings are elite. Check out numericacu.com/67. That's SIX7, or stop by your nearest Numerica branch today to learn more. And if you don't know what 6-7 is all about, ask your kids. APY means annual percentage yield. Numerica Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Here in the quiet suburbs, wild Mustangs mark their territory, often near the mailbox. Sometimes in Gary's hydrangeas.
My precious babies!
And this month, the herd grows by one. It's Northern Quest's $100,000 highway horsepower giveaway. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card to enter, earn 4 times entries every Tuesday, and get ready to assert your cul-de-sac dominance in a brand new Mustang. The highway horsepower giveaway, only at Northern Quest. Northern Quest is giving away a guaranteed $1 million. Which kind of speaks for itself. Unfortunately, I've got another 16 seconds to burn here. Did I mention the $1 million? Cash money.
The Quest for the Million giveaway.
Oh, thank goodness.
Only at Northern Quest.
I'm a finicky old geezer. I just don't recommend many things.
Hi, Dallas Lowe with Golden Rule Break. You know, all of us at one time or another need a little help getting to the next paycheck.
My name is Marion Sawyer. I lived up on the north side since 1968. I went to the Golden Rule on Pines. I said, now look, I don't have any money right now. He says, I might have a solution for you. It's 6 months, you pay it off, it's the same as cash, no interest. Bingo! 6 months, I can do it. That's my story. Golden Rule did it, gave me a 3-year guarantee.
Hey, Marion, thanks for telling your story. I'm glad that we could make it easy for you at 6 months with no interest. You deserve an honest repair at a fair price, and we promise to make it easy. Go to goldenrulebreak.com to schedule now.
It's the place where honesty rules, yeah. Golden Rule Break.
Your business is your baby. You've poured in the time, the sweat, and the dreams. So when it's time to hire, you want to be sure that you're protecting your baby. Pinnacle Investigations makes background checks simple and reliable, so you can focus on growing your business, not second-guessing it. Quick turnaround time, clear results, and peace of mind for small business owners like you. Call Pinnacle at 1-800-955-5306 or visit whoareyouhiring.com. Pinnacle Investigations. Do you know who you're hiring?
This is Kevin Parker from Dutch Bros Coffee in Spokane, and we're the proud sponsor of the Dave and Molly Show and the Dutch Bros text line, which is 509-448-3237. This year, we're coming up on our 20th anniversary. We have more than 13 locations and well more than about 260 employees. When you stop by any Dutch Bros, you're sure to get the highest quality of drink. If you ever have something to say to Dave and Molly, remember to text them, 509-448-3237.
Do you toss and turn and wake up feeling tired? You're not alone. There's a new way to find a good night's sleep. It was invented and is manufactured right here in Spokane. It's called Sleep Vibe, and it's a new approach to healthy sleep. Sleep Vibe uses a low-frequency, low-power proprietary magnetic field that's near Earth natural frequency. There's no sound or tactile vibration, so it won't disturb others in the room. It's easy to use. You just plug it in next to your pillow and leave it on 24/7. Unlike other sleep aids, there is no subscription, bulky headsets, or frustrating apps. It's perfect for shift workers, first responders, athletes, and women dealing with menopause or perimenopause. It's easy to transport and works with other sleep devices, such as CPAP and sleep trackers. People report no longer needing to hit the snooze button and skipping those afternoon naps. Dave and Molly are using it and loving it, and so will you. Go to thesleepvibe.com for more information. It's time for better sleep. It's time for Sleep Vibe.
June has a secret, and it changes color. At Clark's Diamond Jewelers in beautiful downtown Coeur d'Alene, discover alexandrite, one of the rarest gemstones on Earth. In ultraviolet daylight, it shimmers greenish blue, but under incandescent evening light, it transforms into rich raspberry red, nature's own magic trick. Discovered in Russia over 180 years ago and found in several other locations, including Brazil, Sri Lanka, and Africa today, fine alexandrite is more rare than diamond, and every stone feels like a little miracle from the earth itself. And that's what makes Clark's different. We're more than just diamonds. Colored stones are us as well. From sapphires and emeralds to exotic treasures like alexandrite, Clark's has one of the region's finest collections of hand-selected gemstones from around the world. Celebrate June birthdays, or simply celebrate beauty, rarity, and color. Only at Clark's Diamond Jewelers since 1907 in beautiful downtown Coeur d'Alene.
Summer is here, and that means road trips, sunshine, and a whole lot of driving. Make sure your car is ready for the season with Clark's Tire and Automotive. Whether you're headed to the lake, the mountains, or just across town, we've got you covered with oil changes, new tires, brake service, AC repair, and complete summer tune-ups. Right now, take advantage of seasonal specials on alignments, batteries, AC service, and tires. Everything you need to keep your ride safe and cool all summer long. With 4 convenient locations, 2 in the Spokane Valley and 2 on the north side, Clark's Tire and Automotive is always nearby when you need us. Visit clarkstires.com to check out exclusive summer coupons and find out about financing available for all credit types. Schedule your summer service today because nothing ruins a road trip like car trouble. Clark's Tire and Automotive, proudly serving the Spokane area for over 15 years with friendly neighborhood service you can trust. Stop on by and see us today.
We now return to the Dave and Molly Show.
There's our microphone. Quinn, it's like you've got one foot out the door. Your attitude is terrible. It's like...
Well, Dave took over the...
I can't hear you, though. You don't have your mic on.
Checking 1, 2.
There we go.
There we go. Dave took over the control board, and I'm like, I'm very rusty. I'm going through it. I'm like, man, I don't remember where our sounders are. I'm hoping I'm playing the right one.
I just think you have a bad attitude and you're 1 foot out the door.
Yeah, I'm quiet quitting over here, Miles.
This is Quinn's last week with us. He's going to stay in the building. He's going to a job that he's going to absolutely love, and we're very, very happy for him. But at the same time, he's a selfish little punk.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Those are big words.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have to pay residuals when you use any of their sayings? Is there any sort of thing like that? You're like, and then I was going to... Oh, darn. I know nothing. I can't say. And then there's you're like a kung fu movie.
We're going to get a little thing.
Bleep everything out. There's going to be a bleep button for me. So I don't
And it's so late that it's like the old kung fu movie. It's like, thinking you're there. your kung fu's pretty good. It's your Thai boxing. It's like one of those things where it's like,
voice dub over me.
I know. If we just get like a check in our PayPal for $5, we'll know you've been misbehaving terribly. You have to give credit. But then we'd have to give credit to all the movies.
I want it paid in units.
I was just about to say it's going to be a unit every time I use one.
Dang unit.
I have gone out to the casino. I have been his mule before, and I've had to do the unit thing. But I'm like, hi, sir. I'd like $15, the money line on the bells. And they're like, no, right? Because you go to the kiosk.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to see the guy. I actually have to go talk to the guy because I don't know how to do the kiosk thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm too embarrassed to tell the real people like $15. I go put it in the machine and do it by myself.
If like a real gambler, like, let's say, it reminds me of that scene. Oh, God, there was a great scene in a Robert De Niro movie where it was one of the funniest things he did. He hijacked somebody. He's kidnapped them, and he's also
I know
he's
this
in the
movie.
phone booth, and all of a sudden he's like, "Goes, and if you don't pay the money, you know what? I'm going to kill the guy." And then he looks back, but it's like I could see going up to the kiosk for you and going like this: "Put $15."
Yeah.
On this was like, and you're like throwing hundreds out, like, and another 15.
Yeah. Well, I always love. I'll sometimes get behind if I go because sometimes if you go to the kiosk to like if you win one, I go there to like cash it out, and I'll be standing there just to be like. Getting my $30 back and then put 2 units in on something. I'll be standing behind a guy and you shouldn't be like looking at people, what they're wagering and stuff. But I always do because you can see it like the person in front of the screen. And there'll be guys with like thousands or hundreds, at least hundreds of dollars in there. And they've got all their pamphlets and their sheets and they're breaking it down with a guy and putting their 100 on this and 100 there. And they're moving it around. And then I step up behind him. Can I please have $15 on the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah. On my Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. 15. That's $15-inis. $15 big ones.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. So apparently we're not on SWX. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we should let's send a strongly worded message. Or no, actually a word of curiosity. Like I don't know why. So sorry if you're listening to us, but we're not on SWX. But maybe that's better for today's purposes. We don't know. We have a couple more questions from Candy. She sent in a bunch of questions for you. So she lives right down the street from me. She says, "Oh, do you know the dumpster fire thing? I'll get you a pen." We have a dumpster diver thing, like our dumpster fire that when we first started here, it was, we were like, everything is fine because our lives are basically, turned upside down. So it's a dumpster fire thing. So anyway, there's that. And then what is your deepest, darkest secret about your sister, Molly? Pass. How about the fondest memory about Molly growing up?
No pass. Anyway, the deepest dark. You know what? You guys know so much about her. The whole idea that the Pumergencies and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's like your privacy levels really. I don't got a whole lot to work with on that.
You could talk about the mixes I used to make.
The what?
Mixes?
Oh,
I was a mix master.
Well, we lived in Palm Springs. There was an old house that Bill built, and it was built literally. If you looked in the attic, you'd see that it was old billboards taken off the freeway, and that was like part of like the roofing. It had been built by scraps and things. So in the middle, there was Molly's room, and for some crazy reason, there was like a little sink in there with a little window, like for a woman's makeup.
I like to call it my laboratory.
Yes. So what would happen is my job was to help her concoct. She'd make mixes in there, and the biggest thing was like, let's see if it'll go down. And so it would start out with like food coloring, and like it'd be like pieces of like any kind of coloring crap you could get your hands on. And at the end, it was always like, hit it with the powder, and then she put the powder on, and the powder would always float. So you'd lose all the color, but it would be sure to not go down so well because it would all cloud to the center. And that thing had like hair in it. It was a little tiny thing, and we'd sit. Sometimes it'd sit for 2 or 3 days, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's down. Time for a new mix.
Want to help me with a mix?
Yeah.
I would have like Desitin. I think we're on now on a SWX. They said we're on now.
Good.
I'd have Desitin. I'd have flour. I'd have all the stuff from the kitchen plus other stuff like food coloring
and stuff like that.
Yes, and then the powder would float on the top, and then it would be a rock. And I think at the end they had to just dismantle the whole thing.
Well, when you got really, can I say the word ballsy?
Yeah.
Is that too much? Okay, sorry. She threw maybe some chocolate chips in there, some other stuff maybe. Like let's make a mix. Well, hell, let's bake. Let's do that. But there would be, it was like everything you put in a cake mix and all that stuff, like leftover stuff.
Yeah.
And it was rock hard. They just had to but in that same room,
Dad's old Lucky Strikes, couple of those in there.
True or false?
Yes.
Dracula lived in that closet of that room. True or false? I was told that.
Yeah. It's
was
a
there or
belief
was it not
system
told?
that I felt strongly about. And what it did is it did the trick. Because it would be the time when I'd have to leave and all of a sudden like, oh, I'd get that door a little tighter shut. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it, but yeah, I was pretty darn sure. Chocolate lived in there.
He would only come out when I was sleeping, though. He's like, you don't even have to worry about it. He'll just
you'd
creep
be
by
fine.
you. It's
You'd be
totally
Ooh,
fine.
Pull your feet under the covers, though.
Yeah,
Pull your feet under
don't
the
leave
covers.
anything out.
Anything like that. Don't worry, he'll get stuck in the mix. He won't be able to get to you.
There was that, and then we'll just go through the power of suggestion things that these were not, there was no, he just was laying it out there the day that you had heard or read an article about sharks coming up through the drains in pools.
That was before Land Shark, but we knew about this. Yeah, and I did a lot of article reading back then. Look, and it was because there was no internet, so it wasn't me, but I just got done. Oh, man. Oof, I got some bad news for you. Yeah, it looks like, and in the bathtub, there used to be these things called silverfish, and they weren't like a fish, they were like some sort of bug. In Chicago, they had them, and
they were like earwigs or something.
they were called silverfish. And
Yes,
they looked like
they
a
were.
loogie. They were like a
Yeah.
little thing. It was like this slimy little thing, and it was like,
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, all kinds of things could come. Somehow that would open up into it. It would just come up and become huge in your tub, and that would be.
But
bad.
it would be like,
We're
just go
pretty darn
swimming.
gullible.
You're fine. You're fine. It was after Jaws had come out, though. And it was
Was it?
something about, there was just something like either through the filter or through the thing but you would say like, but it probably won't happen. That was your thing was at the end when you'd lay something out like that to me. And it probably didn't even register with you what you were causing in my brain, but it would just be, but it probably won't happen.
The thought,
and then,
there was always that like, this is not really to worry about. Just a concern in the backyard. Like, just forget about what I said. The way that I got that from, I remember when I went back to visit in New Jersey, when we went back to, Mom was doing bus stop.
Yeah.
I stayed with Joey. And Joey did a lot of things, like took me to horse races every day, a lot of adult things. You would have loved that. But he would give me like, I'd have $10 and I bet $2. And I remember we were betting on Uncle Frank, and he'd have the papers making sense, and I'd just be like, Uncle Frank.
Yeah.
And one time, I'd win, but you'd bet $2 and it would be some crazy long shot. You get like $27 back.
Yeah.
But him and Wendy took me to a movie. It was an R-rated movie called They Came From Within. And I remember there was a scene in it where I won't get graphic, but the girl's like naked in the tub and all of a sudden, and then something crawls up out of the sink and like enters her body. And it was really, really, it was like, like that. And it was like this thing you saw come out. It was basically, you could see it was some really crappy like little puppet thing that like somebody was they had probably a tub like built up off of things. So this guy's underneath there like, that all I did. And it came up, it was kind of like, remember the first Alien, the way that head came out like a snake?
Yeah.
It never looked nearly as crazy as the thing, but it came out, was like this, like, and all of a sudden you saw her, and then you saw it, you knew what was going to happen. All of a sudden it starts crawling. It was like, no. But yeah, that was
why
I
did
think
they
I got that
take
idea.
you to that?
Yeah, it came from within. Look that one up.
Oh my God.
Body feature film.
I'm getting, let's see. How many times? Oh, here is one. This is a good one. This you can use today. If you have anybody who's younger, more gullible in your life, this is what you say. You say, I bet there's no way you could go to the kitchen, pour me a Coke with ice in it, and be back here in less than 30 seconds. Yes, I could. I don't think you can. Do you remember doing this to me? You'd be like, sandwich or whatever. And then you'd say, no, I don't think you can do it. That was a good way of getting me to go get you something.
Yep.
And it's harmless.
Yep.
It's harmless fun.
It was really harmless fun. It was lazy. Me sitting lazy on the couch going like, God, I could sure go for that. I've already gone to the bathroom. I don't need to get up. Hey, Molly, you know what? You need to make a little spare change. I will bet you 5 of that $10 I took from you. Here's a way to get some of it back.
Yeah.
And, if you even get $1 of it, you're like, and as you're coming back, and it's like, I'll take the taquitos.
Yeah.
We used to make a lot of the grilled cheeses. I used to make these really unhealthy things. Picture this, delicious. A Nathan's hot dog with brie cheese, bacon, and chili
Oh
on
my
it. And it was like one of those things like this, like, it's a heart stopper, folks. It was like, it would come out, it was just, and at the end, you're just like, oh.
I don't remember
half
that.
of it was like good going down. Oh, no, the other one's Smoky Link sandwiches. Like Smoky Links were like a sausage made by Oscar Mayer or something. They were real tasty.
Yeah.
And you'd split them down the center and you cook them so you brown them. You know, you split the center and open them up. And then you put grilled cheese with the bunch of that. You know, turkey juice and bacon. It was like one of those sandwiches. It was just like probably 4,000 calories, and the cholesterol level was just off the charts. And it was just
That
processed
sounds like
foods.
something you might eat after you're stoned. Was
Well,
that like, or was that just your?
I
Well,
have no idea
Tommy
what you're
was
talking
famous.
about.
So I liked to eat when I was a kid, and Tommy ate more out of necessity, you know. But I was that was my thing. I like to eat, and it may have shown a bit. But I would go into the fridge and I would make something just because I was hungry, and I would just make it. Well, he had he could wait. He didn't have to eat right away. So he'd make something delicious and beautiful with the same exact ingredients. And there I would be eating my big glunky, whatever, just to get it in my gullet. And then he'd be having a luxury dessert. It would be like this beautiful
an art
thing.
sandwich, please. An
Yes.
art sandwich. Remember I got into, this is one thing that we passed on when I was talking about going to high school, and I had this great idea. There was a place across the street called, it was, I just told it, the hot dog place.
Oh, Louise or
Louis Hot Dogs.
Yes.
Next to it was a place called Our Contribution, which was a total vegan health store, which was opened up by, you're probably before your time, MASH.
One of the guys
from MASH opened up. And they couldn't believe that this happened. I'm like 14 years old. I'm over at Louis Hot Dogs, ditching school. We used to hide out in there for that 2 hours. And you're playing like Space Invaders and looking out for the cops and one person to watch, you know, and you could run down the railroad tracks if they came in out the back door. But anyway, so I get this crazy thought. I'm thinking, what if I don't have to go to school at all? I go over to Our Contribution and it says dishwasher needed. The guy hires me at 14. I'm over there thinking like, I got a check for like $138 for the week. I'm like, it was like $2.30 an hour and like no compensation, no nothing. And the thing was that this guy used to have his family come in, the guy who owned it, and there was like all these kids and crackers and all this crap. They would trash the place. Well, he obviously wasn't paying or tipping anything, and he'd be cleaning up all this mess. But I'm working there for like weeks, and there'd be a phone call that would happen when you get home. If you ditch for like a week, it'd just be like on the answering machine going, your student has not been present for 1 week. Then I knew that like once a week, and mom's was kind of like, I don't know, because of the divorce and all that stuff. I think that she was taking it easy and not adding like fire to the thing. So it was one of those things like, you didn't go to school all week. I'm like, it's pretty obviously. I'm like, no, I didn't do that. So I'd be in trouble, but she'd find out like on Friday. So over the weekend, like, you're grounded.
It dissipated.
I had a sliding window in my bedroom that was up top, about 2 feet wide, and you could slide that thing open and shoot right out that window. So I got a lock on my door, put some Kiss on or something, and be on like that, out that window I'd go like this. So the disciplinary things, she thought like after a weekend of that, like that ought to show them. Right, ready to Monday, I would just go back to work. So I'm at work one day, and I'm sitting in there, and I guess I can tell this. Back in the day, there was things called Quaaludes, and people used to sell these, and like it was a muscle relaxant of sorts. And people used to get them, and it was called Dusted, and people had angel dust and stuff, and this would get on these pills sometimes. Well, I was unfortunate enough. I ate like a quarter of one of these pills and went to work, and I started just tripping out. And the dishwater is just black gray. And I slide my hand into it, and there was a knife pointing straight up.
Oh,
and
God, don't. Oh.
Hold on, we'll give you a second.
No, that's making my thing go.
So, anyway, I come out, I just wrapped a white towel on it, got out and started walking. I didn't even say anything, just walked out the door, started walking home down the railroad tracks. Well, the name of the guy who that worked, my boss's name was Jamie. My best friend's name was James. So I get home, I'm sitting home, and I'm like kind of just like I'm having a bad day. It's like a bad trip on this thing. And it was like, this is just kids did this back then. So I'm sitting there, all of a sudden the phone rings, mom picks it up, and she goes, James is on the phone, and she hands it to me. Well, it's Jamie. Goes, where the hell are you? What are you doing? I'm like, I cut my hand. We're being slammed, but the dishes are all coming on the thing. And I just walked home. Little to say that was the end of my career, and then I was probably back to school at least 2 days a week after that.
His dishwashing career was short-lived.
Yeah, and I thought, like, why would anybody go to school? I'm going to make money right now.
Yeah. I didn't realize, I remember you working there, but I didn't realize you were 14 and that you were ditching school to do it.
So funny.
Yeah.
So the other thing is that occasionally, as much as Tommy would somewhat torment me. Sometimes my stuffed animals and things needed punishment, and I knew just who to go to. And so I had Mrs. Beasley, and I don't know if we can play the ad. We'll play it later, but if anybody knows Mrs. Beasley, you could pull her string, and then she had many things that she could say. She had different things that you're my friend. It's a little kind of creepy in the.
Your hair is so pretty.
Yeah. So one day I
Creepy little
decided
doll.
that I was really mad at her because she didn't want to go to a party with me. This is like, we lived in the middle of nowhere.
Shall I get
keep
the
that
BB
in
gun?
mind. Yeah, keep that in mind.
Get the BB gun.
So I mean, we really were pretty isolated as kids before we moved to LA. So I decided that the best thing to do is to have her be punished, but I don't want to do it myself. So I bring her to Tommy. And all I did was
I got you, sis.
I handed her in the door, like the door opened. It's like, what do you want? Door open. I said, she needs to be punished. She won't go to the birthday. Like, oh my God, what have I done?
How much of her do you want back?
What have I done to Mrs. Beasley? And she came back, her glasses askew, writing all over her. Her messages were all like from the devil. Now, I was all,
I can't do this anymore. Pain. Where's my hand?
I think I came back, I don't know, half an hour later, and it was just handed it out to me. And she's like,
Job is
why?
done.
Yeah, she's like, why?
She'll go to all parties from now on.
She never ever said no to me again. That's how I got to go to the party.
That's awesome.
Stop making mixes, Molly. Stop
Yeah.
making
Why are you
mixes in the
rooting
sink.
this old house, this classic house?
Yeah.
The mixes were good though. But here's the other. This is one of the other genius things that you did after I'd seen Exorcist.
I like that these kids genius.
They're
first, opposed to,
genius.
like, he
They're
was so
genius.
mean.
Yeah. So, and I was old enough to know better. I was in high school, but I finally saw The Exorcist. I hadn't seen it. I watched it on VHS or something. And I mean, I was terrified. But right outside of my bedroom, and I've told this story before on the air, but I want to know your thoughts on it. So, right outside of my bedroom is attic access. And if you know the movie, Exorcist, that is where the evil spirit was lurking, and they open the attic, and that's how Reagan gets possessed. Like it comes through, right? So that was the premise.
You got me on that. It's been a long time.
Well, you remembered it then because right near the attic, you just said to me one day as you were walking, you said the weirdest
Very
thing
casually.
happened casually. This is him planting the seed. It's like a little farmer planting seeds.
Didn't I just slide the thing open a little bit?
No, you said, I just felt this like whoosh of air. It was just so weird. It was probably nothing. 2 years of my life, I stared at that access panel. First, I went and slept with Mom and Jack on the other side of the house for a while. Then I finally got up the nerve, but I didn't want to close the bedroom door. I just because I got eyes on it. I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to slide. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
You know, and I just went on out, got my car and split. I don't know what I did that day. I don't know. You know, maybe went to the horse races.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know.
Well,
I think I put a couple units down on something or other. But that's funny that you went on and like.
Oh my God. It was, and then the blood poisoning story. Remember the blood poisoning story? There was a guy in Palm Springs. It was on Dad's.
I should have been paid for some of these things. My
It
God.
was. They played.
You realize without this, like, would you even be able to be on radio?
I don't know. I wouldn't have any stories to tell.
Okay.
So Dad played on remember the big softball? It wasn't like a
slow
regular. It was
pitch.
like a.
That was a slow pitch.
Yeah, but
wasn't
it was this giant leather
they're
ball.
giant. We had one like that too. That was a giant white one.
Yeah, so they would play. Anyway, there was a guy on the team, and the story went that he got blood poisoning, and it almost killed him. And that blood poisoning would travel up your arm.
Yeah, turn
in
your
a thing.
green. Red would go up your arm.
Yes, red would go up your arm, and then you'd have to have it syringed out. So it was just a horrible story.
Tetanus.
Yeah. Well, in my brain now, I'm for sure going to get it. And he helped me believe. Remember, I would watch my veins, and he'd come by and he'd go, "Oh my God, what is that? Well, how long has that been there?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know. I'd have that checked out if I were you." It was my own paranoia. You didn't set it into motion. It was a story I had heard, but then you knew I was afraid of it, and then you just casually come by and like reaffirm that I should be watching it.
I'm puzzled.
I know you don't remember that. Oh my God, I was upset. I think it's my
remember
problem.
when this embellishment's gone incredibly wrong. I'm just wondering whether, like, was there another? Because when I told you were adopted, maybe you really were, and you had a previous life with some other kids. I'm like, because the thing is, it's like I'm trying to think like. I'm thinking on a creativity level.
Yes.
I'm going like some of this stuff is like I want to be like I thought like wow, that was like one like on the way out the door, like, and that vein's bad. That ought to last for right now.
Yeah.
I'll do something later.
That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah, and tetanus. You step on a nail? Looks like it. I'm out of here.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, that ought to last till dinner.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, that's not like a throwaway. I don't even
I
remember
know.
those ones.
I
That was
know.
in the B box.
Yeah. That's the older brother. That's my older brother,
Yeah.
Seth. I was talking to my little brother about this weekend.
Yeah.
And just he was, because like my parents were big on like, we have 4 boys in this house. You guys are not allowed to like hit each other and get into like real fights, or else you're going to be real trouble. Like, if you guys are
Yeah.
like breaking stuff in the house and all that. So my older brothers would resort to like the psychological ways of tormenting, because you couldn't know.
Hey, whatever
And-
works, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's so many stories that me and Liam will talk about, and my older brother would be like, "Did I do that?" And we're like, "Yeah, we have like a very vivid memory." He's like, "Oh, I don't remember that." Like
Different
probably-
timeline.
Yeah, probably just
Different
made it up.
timeline.
Yeah. And yeah, he would do all like I remember my little brother was scared of the Amish country because we drove through like Amish, Pennsylvania, was scared of Amish folk. And then we like got back, and like 2 weeks later, my parents were like in the process of looking at houses in our area in Buffalo. And he's just telling me, my little brother, like, well, yeah, why do you think we drove through those towns coming back from Baltimore? Like, that's where they want to go. Like, mom and dad. He's like, yeah, I think they're going to trade in like the Lincoln for a buggy and like all the, like, all right, you guys have a good day. And then
Here's
Liam
your
and I, the
gas
rest of the day-
lantern.
Yeah. The rest of the day,
I'm
we're like, we got to learn
Amish.
how to like scavenge for food out in the forest today, I guess. Like, we need to learn how to survive.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was.
See, that's like a no
That-
harm done.
see, that's
like,
that's definitely like that's an A-list there.
yeah, that's an A-list.
Yeah.
That's takes
the
some
one we
thought.
remember. Yeah.
Well, his was, and it was an A-list. That was the one where he had a bag packed and he's in real tears when I got home. And that's when you broke it to me that I was adopted. And that the next sound I heard was going to be my family coming back to get me.
Well, at least it was upsetting to me too. I mean, it wasn't like I was like, "You're adopted, get out of here." I was like,
Yeah.
I can't believe it either.
They've played us.
Blank turds. I can't believe it. It's just like I would have known. It's just like, and you're just like one of the night. You've never no. There's nothing you've done wrong. It's just you know what? Like parents do the darndest things.
I know I teased you up, and I'm going to miss you so much. And mom can't even doesn't even have the heart to come home. She said,
But Molly, look, I folded all these clothes. They're perfectly folded, color coordinated. You should be fine on the road. And here's that $5 back out of that 10.
of course, the next sound is my mom with her jangly bracelets coming in. And then, did you just bolt? What did you do? Did you just run out the back door? I never told on you.
Well, put it this way: when after the divorce, there wasn't the fear level there was when
my
'cause my
dad.
dad was around. He'd simply say, "She cries, you cry," and
Right.
he never had to hit me. I never
Yeah.
could even like came any close to like not thinking he would do that.
Yeah.
And we're in the back. And I used to do things like put my hand up her sleeve, and you can see, and I'd be pinching. I'm like, I don't know why she's crying. She just seemed like, why she's crying, and he just look in the mirror, going, she cries, you cry, cut it out, and I'd be like back to that, like, and the thing if you accidentally cussed was watch your mouth, and watch your mouth is like, I'd wait till like he'd have his buddies over because he was a gun guy, and his buddies were over, and they're all, damn it, they're cussing all this stuff, and all of a sudden I'd like say something like SHI, and I'd say that, and he's out of the blue, he's in the middle of his car, he's like, watch your mouth. And I'm like, I thought I was one of the guys. And I was like, you're not one of the guys.
Yeah.
You're not one.
He just had to look at us. And that was the thing. Poor mom. So she's devastated by the divorce. We moved to LA into this cramped little apartment. We're used to having Tommy had his motorcycle. I had my horse. That is how we got around all day long.
And then I had a bicycle in Hollywood.
Yeah. And I didn't even know how to ride a bicycle. And we're in Hollywood on this slope. Anyway, so we're in this
Down
little
from Barney's
apartment.
Beanery.
But yeah,
That's a good story there.
Yeah, that's where we used to eat all the time. But so we go from the sprawling ranch to a dad that just had to look at us and we would behave. There was no argument. There was nothing. To the two of us, her being devastated and us being at ridiculous ages. And it was like, you're not going to win this battle.
Yeah.
We are going to, and we started with junk food and all the stuff we
it
never
was
had.
Twinkies and Ding Dongs.
And TV all the time, which we never got to watch TV. We didn't even have, the TV came in, we watched like an hour a night.
Who was there with us? If the people
Sheila,
are older.
our friend Sheila.
Brian Dennehy. Brian Dennehy lived there with us for a while. The actor Brian Dennehy.
In our apartment?
The one on Olive. The one
What?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No, I remember
Different
Sheila.
timeline. Oh,
Mom,
Because
text
he helped me build. I had that little pinball machine there, not the one that I got from Johnny. I had the pinball machine. Brian Dennehy, he slept on the couch, and he was through this
Oh my
before he made it.
God.
100%.
Before he did Rambo?
Yeah, oh yeah. This is before
They
what
did
was the-
Bus Stop together.
Yeah, that's why, because he was trying to break it in Hollywood, and he came and stayed.
I never knew.
We could get an Ellen call in for verification.
I know. Well, they've been texting in, so let's hear.
We just talked about
I do
that.
not
Mom and I were
remember
just
that.
talking about that about Brian.
I remember
Yeah.
we had our friend Sheila up in the
loft.
loft.
It's kind of a cool apartment if you weren't like going through a devastating,
Divorce.
divorce and Twinkies
Right.
and ding dongs and like nowhere to ride
And
riding
Barry
a bicycle.
Manilow and
I went
red
from a
wine.
motorcycle. I rode a motorcycle to school when I was like in first grade across the desert. In my head, you could ride across the miles. You could ride.
Yeah.
And then we had a bus that would drive us. But every once in a while, you're able to do that. But the difference of that, going down to Hollywood, and there was a place called Barney's Beanery, still there, a famous place for their chili. And I'd go in there because I wanted to play pinball, and I was a really good pool player. So I'd been playing since I was a little kid with my dad. We had a pool table in his bedroom. So I'd go down and hustle pool for quarters to play pinball. And I used to play the Elton John machine and hustle pool. But I'd been done that. That was the beginning of kind of that's when the Apple School was happening. But on the weekends, I'd go down there. And it was that was such a change. I mean, realistically, in Desert Hot Springs, there was one black kid in our school. And he was on baseball team, and it was like when I got to LA, it was like literally a quarter to a third.
It was a culture shock for us, which then it became for us. Then the opposite became totally bizarre. It was like, wait a second, this is a melting pot. This is like we lived on a ranch. We lived on a ranch in Wyoming.
Well,
then we lived on a
100,000
ranch.
acres. That ranch
Yeah.
was 100,000 acres.
Brian Denny stayed on the couch for one night. So he must have
That's
helped
what
you
Mom
that
said?
one night. That's what Mom said.
God, oh my gosh. Okay.
Now watch this. And I think that they got together, if you know what I mean. It's going to drive her crazy. She doesn't know how to text. Tiffany, tell him this. Tell him I never did it with
First
him.
of all, he was definitely their boy. If only Brian was alive. Because it was like, you know what? I tell you what, this is how I know, Mom, is because then I went back. Remember, I went and stayed with his family in Long Island.
I know,
with his
I did
daughter.
too.
Remember,
Yeah.
we got the Bel Air cigarettes?
Yeah.
And we were buying cigarettes. That's when they had the old cigarette machine.
Yeah.
We got them because they were a pretty box.
Yeah.
And we got the, like, I don't know what,
And
no peer
milkshake
pressure
candy
whatsoever.
bars.
Just gonna smoke. Just gonna smoke.
Yes. Let's go back to the motorcycle for just a second, if we
Yeah.
may. And then we're going to take a quick break
Yeah.
because Kalai is going to come in. One of your more creative, and this is 100% true, and you cannot deny this. We went up to Stuckey's, the power, the back road, right?
I believe the Lord
closed
has
at
something to do.
dusk.
Is the Lord in this
yes,
one?
the Lord is in this. So we're going, and it's the
Thank
desert
God.
at dusk, and it's like that's the most dangerous time
Lot
on
of
the desert.
rattlesnakes, that's
That's
true.
when the snakes come out. It's a
Okay.
bad time, especially if you're, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old.
Right.
And so we're out, and I don't know if we went there, we on our way back. I think maybe that was the case. We already had our fun.
Dad wanted those lime popsicles. And they
Okay.
went all the way up there to get them, and it was like you
Yes.
could run up to Stuckey's.
So all of a sudden the bike stops and it's
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no, it's not starting. Okay. Now we
only
need
one.
now Molly, I know we're not really church people, but we need to pray to God. Like we need to get off the bike and you need to get on your hands and knees and you need to pray. So close your eyes. Make sure you close your eyes. And I'm like, dear God, please let the bike start. It's getting dark. I'm like, rum, rum, rum. Wow, you did it. You did it. You asked God and you did it. And
We're
he
halfway out,
leaves
you turn
me.
the gas off, so it
Take
naturally
me off.
like. I had Nicole Ufflin do it too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nicole
That's like-
Ufflin's Jewish.
But
It was
then-
really rough for her to do
so
it.
he leaves me there at dusk, and I think, didn't you get all the way home and then
No,
they sent
no,
you back?
no, no,
How
God,
far
no.
did you get? They didn't say where's
You
your
got
sister.
back on the bike. There was I was dangerous as hell. There's none. This is where it gets. This is where. No, I did not leave you at all. You got back on the bike. I thanked you for praying. You got on your go because I didn't want to sit out there. There's no way that would have been an eye cry if I had gotten home with that one. There's no way. There was no way leaving you there. Now Nicole, I took her out there and I let her sit for quite some time.
Good. Well, she deserved it. She was a different kind of person than I was. I was sweet, and I just wanted to be your friend. But remember when the bike fell over on me and burned I had a huge blister. I had Honda. I had Honda on my. It was my
calf.
because is it on the left side? Where's the engine on the left
Well,
side?
no, the pipe can be on either. It's
No,
usually
it was the engine part. The full, not the pipe, but the silver
the whole
part.
the whole cylinder.
Yeah,
fell
that
and hit
gets
you?
really hot.
Yeah, I know. Well, the
fell
whole
in the
pipe gets- okay,
sand
got you,
and it
then it
singed
fell over.
me.
But it could like put you like a barbecue. Then it would be slots.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
the head.
Exactly. We're going to take a quick break
But I
and we'll
didn't
come
do that
right
on-
back with Kalai.
Yeah.
Yes,
Perfect.
he did do that. He did do that. It's the David Molly Show from the
Lies,
Numerica
lies, and
Studios. We'll be
half-truths.
back in a minute.
All lies. Thank you.
Remember the 6-7 trend all the kids were doing not too long ago? Some say the trend is chopped, but Numerica is bringing it back. We're so sorry. And this time, your savings account will thank you big time. Introducing 6-7 Savings from Numerica Credit Union. The savings account earning 6% APY on your first $700. No minimum balance required, no complicated qualifiers. Just a simpler way to help your money earn more. Want to grow your savings even faster? Pair your 6-7 savings account with your Round Up to Savings. Every time you use your Numerica debit card, your purchases will round up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes straight into your 6-7 account. So yeah, the virtual trend may be questionable, but the earnings are elite. Check out numericacu.com/67. That's SIX number 7, or stop by your nearest Numerica branch today to learn more. And if you don't know what 6-7 is all about, ask your kids. APY means annual percentage yield. Numerica Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Here in the quiet suburbs, wild mustangs mark their territory, often near the mailbox. Sometimes in Gary's hydrangeas.
My precious babies!
And this month, the herd grows by one.
It's Northern Quest's $100,000 highway horsepower giveaway. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card to enter, earn 4 times entries every Tuesday, and get ready to assert your cul-de-sac dominance in a brand new Mustang. The highway horsepower giveaway, only at Northern Quest. Northern Quest is giving away a guaranteed $1 million, which kind of speaks for itself. Unfortunately, I've got another 16 seconds to burn here. Did I mention the $1 million? Cash money.
The Quest for the Million giveaway.
Oh, thank goodness.
Only at Northern Quest.
One bad hire can hurt your business fast. Pinnacle Investigations helps employers nationwide make smarter hiring decisions with thorough, compliant background screening. No shortcuts, no guesswork, just reliable results and strong customer service. Before you make your next hire, make the smart call. Call Pinnacle Investigations to start your background check journey.
No matter what you can imagine, no matter what you can possibly dream, no matter what your heart desires, Jewelry Design Center can make it for you. We have fixed everything from eyeglasses to Super Bowl MVP trophies to all types of jewelry. When people are able to come in and watch things be worked on, watch their pieces, and be able to talk to the actual people that are going to be doing it, it gives such a confidence and an appreciation for what that is. It can do anything. Jewelry Design Center, your jeweler for life.
Your business is your baby. You've poured in the time, the sweat, and the dreams. So when it's time to hire, you want to be sure that you're protecting your baby. Pinnacle Investigations makes background checks simple and reliable, so you can focus on growing your business, not second-guessing it. Quick turnaround time, clear results, and peace of mind for small business owners like you. Call Pinnacle at 1-800-955-5306 or visit whoareyouhiring.com. Pinnacle Investigations. Do you know who you're hiring?
This is Kevin Parker from Dutch Bros Coffee in Spokane, and we're the proud sponsor of the Dave and Molly Show and the Dutch Bros text line, which is 509-448-3237. This year, we're coming up on our 20th anniversary. We have more than 13 locations and well more than about 260 employees.
We now return to the Dave and Molly Show.
Well, hello and good morning. It is the Dave and Molly Show, but today my brother Tommy is co-hosting. We have Quinn here, of course, and now we welcome Kalai Chuck.
Hello.
Hello and welcome.
Happy Monday. This is so fun to be here to see the siblings face to face. Because I was telling Tommy, I've heard the stories on the radio, but
one side of the story.
Exactly.
That's right.
I know.
Yeah.
Being a journalist, I should have taken everything Molly said with a grain of salt because I need both sides of the story to properly
Well, I am
report.
actually getting insight. What I'm realizing is, and Quinn also is, as a younger sibling, some of the stuff that's dropped is just as Tommy said,
The B-roll, it's like, that's like, some of the things you said, I thought, I would have been a lot more creative than that. I was like, that may have been like, I'll just do that, walk out the door, get my car and split. It wasn't like one of those ones you're going to sit and embellish, like, this is really going to make a big effect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Things like you know,
tetanus
just
one was
like
like-
when I was worried about tetanus and blood poisoning, and he just walked by and go, "Oof,
Yeah, it looks
that
like you
doesn't
stepped
look
on a
good."
nail or something. I'm out of here. And I'm like, just leave her at that. I had no
Those
idea.
aren't his fault. Those are my fault for being completely obsessed with things, I think. But yeah. So
How old were you guys in that instance?
well,
Where were we?
well, we would have been. I think we were. I remember being in
27 and
LA.
29.
I remember being in LA and at the Bessemer house when I was so worried. So I think Dad must have. I don't even know where I heard the story. I don't even know how it all blends together. I just would get obsessed about stuff, and if he just fed in just a little bit, all I needed was just a little push, and then I'd be like watching my arm for days, just waiting for the red line, even though I had no reason. I hadn't done anything like to get hurt, but it's those little things. But you were the little sister.
Yes.
So your sister did stuff, right? She had to.
Yes. I think she wanted just me to mind my own business. So she didn't really mess with me. I just wanted to like hang out and have a friend, and she'd be like, this is, you know.
How many age difference?
3 years.
Yeah, that's what we had, 3 years.
Yeah. And then eventually I think like we were both over each other. And then I remember I went to college and like people were friends with their siblings. And I'm like, wait, like your sibling is coming to visit you in college? Like that would never cross my mind. And my mom always said, she's like, I knew one day you guys were going to be friends. And yeah, it totally changed
Are you
when
now?
she became an adult. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We're all close. My parents and my sister all live in town. So we're lucky.
My older granddaughter is so incredibly sweet that I don't think she'll ever do anything to torment the little one, but I think the little one may be the tormentor. I mean, I know she's the one who pushes buttons better and she can get a rise out of the older one, but I don't think the older one will really ever go crazy to do anything.
You know, it's interesting. Yesterday we were watching because the little one will overreact like crazy to something. Like the ball hit her in the leg a little bit. Like, oh my God. So here's the thing. Here's the theory on that. Maybe it's meant to be the teasing. Since she's not getting teased and nothing really bad's happening to her, it's just to make the most out of everything. It's an effect. But kids will get attention, good or bad. It's just attention. So it's a matter of, especially when there's two siblings and you're like, it's direct competition. We were throwing the ball back and forth with each other, and it's to be made less of the one, like, stop throwing it so hard, be accurate, like anything like that. Like there's an insecurity that's unsaid. It's like so much emotion goes on with somebody.
It could be that she's not getting teased enough, so she's trying to create stuff. But what I did yesterday,
I could reach back into my bag of tricks if you need something.
But yesterday,
That's just my ideas.
she got hit with a Nerf ball. She's like, ow! And so what I did, I go, oh my God, what happened? And I hugged her and I looked at her sister. I said, what did you do to her? And her sister's like, oh my God. And then I think she's like, no, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
She's going to get in trouble.
Right.
So
Yeah,
maybe
but look
you
at the reaction
overreact.
you give her. No wonder she wants to do it. Like, I'll get a big hug. And oh my God.
Usually I just ignore her, but yesterday I decided to make a big deal out of it just to make them laugh.
Yes.
But no, usually she doesn't get that kind of. I have very little patience. I am a boy mom for sure. I don't have like you with your 4 boys, and I would have been great with that.
Yeah.
With my son, I was great with it. With Alex, I was great with it. The girls have a different energy, and I'm just not as good at it. What were you with your? Because you have one of each.
Yeah. Well, for my kids, my kids get along so well, and I think it's because my daughter's older. She's in charge. She contends she raised her brother, who's 2.5 years younger, and then her brother is the most chill person ever.
How old are they now?
18 and 16.
Oh my gosh, I would have never thought. I won't ask you how old you are.
I'm 46.
She'll tell you.
Boy, there's some good
And she calls herself
there.
old too.
Thank you.
She always goes, "Yeah, I'm an old lady." No.
Well, I like getting older. I feel like we get wiser when we get older.
Sure. It's the one thing we have to do. We have to hold something. It has to be good for something. But do you think you were more patient with your daughter or your son? Or are they both so chill that it didn't matter?
I think I just think their personalities click. And it's kind of funny. Like they're very similar to their parents. Like I'm very much like the loud person and Robbie's just there, steady, constant.
Right.
You know, there for when I'm high, when I'm low, when I'm high, when I'm low, and he's just there. My kids are like that too. Like my son's just kicking it.
But for you, like, who could push your buttons as a little one?
Who could
Like,
push
who are you
mine?
more patient with? Because I find that I don't have the patience for the girls, and I think it's because I'm a girl.
Oh, you mean am I more patient
Yes.
with my son or
Yes,
daughter?
yes, that's what I
Probably
mean.
my son. Because
Yeah.
it usually is my daughter's fault.
Yeah.
Just like it's probably, if there's anything going on in my house, it's probably my fault. Yeah. Just because, like, again, like, I don't know. I guess, like, if anything, if he's ever in trouble, it's like his lack of ambition. It's kind of refreshing sometimes because we care so much. I care so much. His sister cares so much. It's kind of refreshing to have
Somebody
Keikoa
who's just
and
chill.
Robbie just like
chill.
good.
But also is like,
Yeah.
do you care?
Right.
My
See, that
daughter
was-
said yesterday, she's like telling this big dramatic story, and it had to do with my son. And she goes, look at Keikoa, not even G'ing an F. And she said it exactly like that. Not even G'ing an F.
So
I
you
love
get away
that
with
they-
that. Okay.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
that they
learning.
get along. I
Yeah.
think Dave's kids are the same. Dave's kids totally get along. And then did you with your, I know on SSW, you can't see Quinn's head, but you're going to be able to hear him. Did you guys have two of the four of you that like really fought for reals?
Not really. We actually kind of we almost joked that my two older brothers are like a separate set of siblings, and like me and my younger brother are like a separate set. Like I'm like kind of the older brother to my younger brother, and then like
Yeah.
the older two are kind of like their own entity in our minds.
Right.
Because I couldn't imagine the dynamic between four.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
like
honestly,
a
my
lot.
mom did. I got to give her credit. She did a pretty good job of us not. We were saying we didn't do any like physical fight for the most part. There was some ping pong paddles being thrown at each other and things like that, as you do with
As
boys.
you do.
Yeah, but a lot of it was like, and honestly, it was my older brother Seth, the younger of the two older ones, and it was all just because he was bored, and it was. We look back, it's very fun, but he would just like psychologically torment us younger two, and like. He had us believing that Yoda lived in his room because he'd put like a poster on the outside, so he'd close the door. And,
I'm here for you now.
whatever the Yoda
That's
voice
hilarious.
goes, like, yeah. And we'd do that. We'd be like, well, Mom, we have to do this because Yoda told us to. Like, we got to go do it. And she'd be
Wow.
like, no, you're scooping the cat
Yes.
litter. No, well, I'm
scooping
supposed to be
the
I'm
cat-
supposed to be making a sandwich for my older brother. That's what Yoda
Litter
said
box
to do.
must be changed.
Yeah.
Yes, change as it will.
Yeah.
Good. You know, that's funny. I was just thinking that your mom did a great job because who else in the world goes to the casino and orders $15 units? He's like, no gambling problem whatsoever. It's a $15 unit. Very, very conservative and very, very analytical. It's like an aerodynamic bet.
That's right. I know exactly what I can afford to lose and say,
See, that's the one thing because Dave and I feel like almost parents to you, and we have failed there because what we say is go all in. Doesn't matter what the checking account says. You know what? Double up to catch up. You can win it all back.
Yeah.
Chip in a chair. You can do it, Quinn.
you can win so much more if you put more down.
But
That's
the good
right.
news is he listens to you not.
I know. He just takes all
Yoda
of
comes
our
back.
old school bits and stuff. Now,
That's
did
funny.
you miss us co-anchoring on the news this morning? How did you get along with those 2 minutes?
We actually really missed you guys.
Did you?
Yeah, it's always fun when you guys come on. And then they come on 5:45.
Yeah.
And then we replay that same segment at 7.
Oh, that's right.
15.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I actually had to like get up and do live news during
Oh,
7:15
no.
today. Yeah. So I've really missed your recorded segment, especially.
So sorry.
Yeah.
And also all the fun topics that we bring to you. Well,
oh my
Dave
gosh, you guys
does
bring
it.
so many hot topics. Yeah, we had
Dave
no
does
hot
it.
topics today
Well-
without you guys.
That's
Sorry.
Monday.
I know. We did talk about this wasn't a story that Sam and I did, but it was on our morning business report talking about the tips and the iPad machines basically
Yes.
that now have bigger percentages
Yes.
on those recommendations than ever before.
They
So I
start
think-
at 12
Yes.
instead of 10.
and then it can go up to 25.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of them that I'll go to have started going. They start at 22. You have like a 22, a
And then it
25, and a 30, or a
What?
custom. Yeah.
I'm totally confused. What are you talking
You
about?
mean like when you go to a coffee stand, wherever, and they you use your card, and then they turn the iPad around, and then you're to fill out the tip
Oh,
portion.
you're talking about the tipping thing.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's
It is.
crazy what it is.
Yes.
Like this, like that's why I always push other.
Yes.
Other.
Other
It's
zero.
like, oh my
Yeah.
God, like all you did was just pour some coffee in a cup.
Yeah.
And it's like $6 coffee. You're like another
Yeah.
couple hours going like, you know, if I tip you, I probably won't be able to come back again tomorrow. I'm going to go with the other.
Yeah. Next thing you know,
I'm
you're
going
paying
to
a
give
full
you a
unit.
smile, and
That's
here's
right.
the tip. I'll give you one tip at the end of the week after 5, and if you've done it all and not screwed it up, that's the crazy.
At Dave's Hot Chicken the other day, so I ordered for the kids. It was like $40 for 2 full meals.
That was a great deal.
Ridiculous. No, $40 for 2 full. No,
Oh,
no,
I'm
not
sorry. I was
no.
thinking about last night.
No,
I'm
last
sorry. My
night.
bad.
I'll tell you
Go
about
for
that
it.
great
That's
deal. That was a great deal. So then they offered me tips. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do 18%. Well, then I order something to go as well. Well, then I'm back with the same question. And they always say, there's just a couple follow-up questions.
Yeah.
It's like, don't say it like that. You know what you're doing. You want me to tip. But yesterday, here's the hot tip. Safeway, any day of the week. I know they have today's Cheap Chicken Day.
Fabulous deal.
But Cheap Chicken Day is really good too because it's $5.99 and you
Sounds
get
like a
8
song.
pieces. $15. I got 8 pieces of dark meat chicken. You could mix.
There's breast.
Well, she accidentally. Usually it's dark meat. She popped one in there. Then you get 3 sides, and it's not. It was like a huge bag of JoJo's, a huge thing of slaw, and a huge another thing of slaw, and 4 rolls for $15. That is the family meal at Safeway. That's pretty damn good.
Yes.
So you got a bigger wait, let me just start to put this together. I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of a creative way. First of all, you get the extra breasted chicken, which is uncommon.
That shit, I think that was a
unknown.
mistake. Yeah.
And now when you get these extra big things,
Yeah.
I almost want to whisper in your ear what I think the whole solution to that is.
What?
I just don't want to say it out loud. Can I just really say it? to you
Yeah.
and see if you
Go
like-
ahead. No. Oh my God, no. Bernice was not that. Bernice was very nice, but the ratchety old lady next to her was not. She was mean. So they're out of mac and cheese. They're out of mac and cheese.
this is at the Safeway?
Safeway, yeah,
Okay.
Safeway. So the mean lady, and she scares me. Whenever I see her at the deli, I'm like, I'm not getting anything today. I'm just not. She's too mean. So I see that there's no mac and cheese, which is one of the options. And I said, so mac and cheese. And the nice lady, Bernice, she goes, no, I'm sorry.
Bernice.
And then old mean lady, she goes, there's no mac and cheese today. And I said, oh, okay. I said, so there's no mac. She said, you can heat some up over there. I said, I know, but that's like extra. I'd have to buy that. She goes around. Well, then Bernice, sweet Bernice, she's like, I'm so
Bernice.
sorry. And she didn't say, unfortunately. She said, I'm so sorry. We don't have any of that. And I said, hey, do you think we could upgrade to the summer slaw? She said, yeah, we could do that. So, and I did get a breast of chicken. So maybe Bernice slipped it in on purpose because I didn't get the mac and
comes
cheese.
running over.
That's our special coleslaw. Put that breast back. She's so mean.
They're
Oh
gonna
my
turn
God.
our lights off if we don't make this profit.
The poor guy, she was helping too. I mean, everything, he was trying to be nice and she was snapping at him. She was in a foul mood. I said to Bernice, I was like, thank you, bye-bye. And I noticed her name tag.
It's
She
so
was so
refreshing when you have like
They're
a
so
pleasant
nice.
person. In that case, you want to tip Bernice almost.
You want to take the 18% from the other thing and have it
Yes.
fat. If you did,
Yes.
think about it, you give the tip, but like you got like an hour to verify it in your own thing. You go back and like, I'm
Yeah.
going to switch that tip for this after you've already split. You're like, I didn't like your attitude. One thing, and I don't know if this bothers you, but it's a new thing that's happened in probably the last 8 or 10 years. Waitresses and things like when they come back, let's say you're having dinner and they come out, how is everything?
It's
Fine.
great.
When people say, how are things tasting? That's too damn personal for me. I'm like, what do you do? That's like you're climbing in my mouth. Like, how are things tasting? Well, you got a pad and a pen? Let's just sit down. It's just too personal. How are things tasting? And it's a new thing. Like, we all got together and like, here's what we're doing.
Yes.
We're asking if people are
Right.
tasting. Not just how is
Yes.
your meal? Are you enjoying your meal?
Yeah.
How are things tasting?
And then if they say something, then you have to say, unfortunately, because that gets you off the hook. And if they order something, you have to say, perfect. That's my
Oh,
thing.
that's what they all say. That's-
oh my
oh,
God.
that's
It's like, what can I
awesome.
get you? It's like, I'll
Perfect.
have a mocha. All right. Perfect. Perfect. What size is that? Awesome. Okay. And did you want a double pump? Perfect. Let me just get this to you.
Can I get a pump of poo in that? Like, well, that's perfect also.
Excellent.
Really beautiful. Great idea. It's original and it's tasty. Let's move on.
Here's something I noticed in movies that are supposed to be old. They're supposed to be from another time. If I hear somebody say perfect or unfortunately, I immediately am like, you know what? That is a today film. I don't know why it bothers. It like
So the
brings me
movie's-
right back in today.
The movie's made now, but they're trying to.
Correct.
The setting's supposed
That's
to
right.
be.
That's
okay.
right. There was a series I was watching, and I can't remember what it was. And they used a couple of phrases that were so today
Right.
that you didn't hear back then. You just did not hear those words.
Yeah.
And so it brings me, unfortunately, it's a little vague. That's not a good one, but perfect. And, you know.
Well, like that 70s show when you watch that, because I knew that was our life.
Yes.
Everybody had like we didn't have a basement, but we had like garages, shag carpet.
Mm-hmm.
There's the way it was, cinder blocks that had shelves in them, and then you
Yes.
had the milk cartons that your albums fit in perfectly. Those
Yeah.
plastic milk albums.
Yes.
Everybody had that. You had like a Boston album, AC/DC record, like maybe Heart. There was the ones that had those everybody just had those in their thing. That was just the stuff you had. But everybody in the 70s show, when they walked down, it's exactly the way down to the shag,
so
green carpet, the
perfect.
carpet that was like, maybe it was, they put carpet upstairs, they kept the remnant and throw it down on the ground. So it was like, dirty, you really don't want to lay down in it, but like it was better than the concrete floor.
So in your room, how I remember the Rocky poster. Did you have Did you have the Farrah Fawcett poster?
Yep.
And then did you have an Aerosmith Night in the Ruts poster?
Yep.
Or okay.
And a couple Kiss posters.
Kiss posters. And then you had a couple of the black light. He had the velvet black light.
Yeah, with like Jimi Hendrix stuff.
Yes. And then he had a snake named Bubba Boa and then Petey Python.
Three.
What was the other one?
Balboa.
Balboa. Our cleaning lady found Bubba Boa one time, and
gosh.
he had been missing for a while. She found him in the macrame oh my
Yeah.
God.
That stayed up there the whole time we went to Hawaii because I had it out and let it sit up in the plant. And this was like I had a baby boa this big, then one that big, and then one that was about 8 feet long.
Oh my God.
And I went through a phase where I had fish tanks. I had like 2,000 gallons worth of water plus a water bed. If there was an earthquake, I'd just drowned in fish. It was crazy. And it was like, I don't know what, it was the divorce or what it was, but I need snakes and fish. But I'd put it up in this macrame thing, which is the old macrames. Like, do you know the thing? Do you know macrames?
They're back again. The
everything
macrame.
you're describing, I'm like, that's so on trend now, I feel.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Everything's back. Yeah. The
It's like
macrame
if people-
hangers that Margaret used to make.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
So and it may have even been one that Margaret made that
She
came up
probably
with this
did.
thing. The wicker, there was the wicker furniture that
Yes.
Mom had, the rattan. Which
Yes.
was like, that was high-end wicker, was rattan. So I'd put the snake up there and it would just curl around. What it did is it went down in between, the plant sits inside the plastic. It got down in between the macrame. And so I'm like, I've forgotten. I'm like, I don't know where it is. So we're going to Hawaii, like we're going away for a week, and I walk back in. I'm like, I can't find it. It's like, what the hell? It's like, because the snake, you could feed it. It eats a mouse. It's good for a month.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking water. Figure it out. Got fish tanks. So figure it out. So I leave, and this is like we come back a week later, and I'm still like, what? Balboa. What the hell is this? And then Ruby, our cleaning lady, all of a sudden ow! And she was
sweet
old
Jesus!
white lady.
Sweet Jesus! We're like, oh my God!
Oh my God! Lord have mercy! I was like, what the hell is that? And she comes in there and it's moving around. And I'll be, and I just reach out and she says, that's Ghost. It's like it's moving around. And I reach and go, that's just Balboa. What the hell? And I pulled it out like this. I'm not cleaning that room no more.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was it for Ruby. But I had a rat named Ratty. Ratty
Bobo.
was a reject. Well, Bobo was a hamster, but Ratty was a reject from one of his snakes. And once they tried to eat a rat, but the rat fights back. The snake is not
you gotta
interested
give another
anymore.
Couple weeks, go on hiatus. Bring another one back.
So Jack, stepfather extraordinaire, bought Ratty for $3.29 or something from Tommy, and he said, "We'll
It
keep
was a
Ratty."
bargain. It was a bargain.
Yeah.
It was only a little injured. Only got hit a little bit, missing the tail or something.
So Ratty became my pet, and Ratty was the best pet I ever had. So sweet.
You had to go buy a tank and all that?
I already had all the habit trail stuff. I already had it.
And I had fish tanks and stuff like that. The other story, the thing is, she had a hamster named Bobo.
Yeah.
And I was big on going. I'd go to the recycler was like the Nicholsworth up here in LA. And you go and I was always looking for tropical fish. And I found a guy that lived in Glendale. We went to his house, my friend James and I. We went downstairs in his basement. He had hundreds of tank. It was all like off black market, like he had piranhas and all these fish in
my
there.
God.
Oh, it was crazy we had in there. So I'm looking through all these tanks, and some of them were so dark you couldn't see anything inside of it. All of a sudden, this big slish had come to the way. He had these fish called Mozambiques. These fish were like this big. They're like a big largemouth bass looking thing, but it had like catfishy looking thing. Not a very pretty fish, but he threw one of those in on the deal. So I got all these fish, and he got a newt. Do you know what a newt is? It's like a lizard, but they have like water and that. So anyway, long story short, I bring the Mozambique back, and the only place it can go is in the pool. In the pool, there's like we threw it in the pool at James's house.
I was like, there was a shark in my pool.
This is James all his job was to keep the pool clean, and his dad was a guy they'd had him when he were like 70 years old. So his dad's like 83, and James is like 14. So they like let him do whatever the hell he wanted to do. I ain't got time for you, Jimmy. And he's sitting in there, and he goes, damn it, if you don't clean that pool, I'm planting tomatoes in there. So we threw that Mozambique in there. And for you just wouldn't see anything for weeks. Also, we walked by the pool and just bubbles would happen in the dark water. And that thing had lived in there. But anyway, long story short, back to the point of the story. So this newt, I had an octagon, beautiful like plexiglass tank, and I put way too many fish in it. And it's bubbling, there's way too much action, just crazy. It was like a kaleidoscope, and it was like fighting, and this was just bad. So the newt had gotten up on the tank, like, I had it. I'm out of here. Enough fish. I'm out of here. I'll take it we'll see how it goes out on the land. Not well. Drops off onto the carpet. Shag carpet works like a sponge to water. I just thought the next day it was just rock hard, rock hard. So Bobo is in the other room in the cage. Because I thought, let's kill two birds. I'm thinking, Bobo might enjoy a newt. So I put it in the cage, and the Bobo ate it. And just took Bobo out. So
Killed Bobo. He killed Bobo.
It came up with a clever idea. Cartoon, Bobo and the Newt. Bobo's already dead. They're both like, you see them in see-through kind of stuff. And they're like Bobo and the Newt travel and they have all these adventures, but they're already dead. And you can see them. They can kind of do stuff in the material world and mess with stuff. But I thought, Bobo and the Newt, what a cartoon.
And how did that work out for me when I found out Bobo was dead? I didn't know he ate the newt for a long time. Didn't come
I had to
life.
crack it out of his mouth. The thing snapped at the tail went down and tried to eat
this
it.
This is getting worse.
Bobo.
And now
Bobo was a hamster.
my hamster.
Oh, Bobo was a hamster.
But it was right around the corner from the newt. It was like, we was like all of a sudden, like, I was going to go to the trash can, but you know what? Bobo looks like he's hungry. What did this happen? That was
like a
terrible
snack.
thing.
I know it wasn't good. It wasn't good, but see, now this is why when you say things like that, I think you had the jury of listeners on your side, and then you say something like that, and I think they're swinging more towards me now. They're believing me.
The Bobo thing was like, hey, it was Bobo. It's not like I stopped and tried to put it in your mouth, although I did try to put pennies in her mouth when she was little. I didn't realize that was I'm told.
That was good.
Allegedly.
You tried to put pennies in Bobo's mouth or Molly's mouth?
Molly's mouth. When she was a little infant, but I was like 2, I was rambunctious. 3, I was rambunctious.
3.5.
She was getting a lot of attention. Like every 10 minutes, I'm crying. I need to be changed. I'm like, enough of this. Let's put it like pinball. Let's see what comes out. Let's see what we can play. Oh no, I put a penny
When
in
I
my-
came home, he's like, "That's all the babies we need. We don't need any more."
Very good.
He had my mom's full attention for over 3 years. So, and she was the kind of mom that entertained all the time. So it wasn't like, oh, sit and soothe yourself. It was like, you look too calm. Let me do a show tune for you. And then I came along and I was like to be a Quaaludes. I was like, and they thought something was wrong with me because I could self-soothe and like play by myself. She's like, I don't know, doctor. Something's
She's
wrong
on
with
something.
her.
She's on something.
Yes.
She's so calm.
Got into the medicine chest.
My friend had her first baby was colicky and the second
Oh.
wasn't, and she thought something was wrong with the second baby.
Yeah.
For that reason. Yeah.
Well, and then there's the people who have these perfect, like, behaved, just do everything. And they're like, we are the best parents. Let's have another perfect child. And the second one comes out, it's just like,
Rocks the world.
yes.
I see. You,
You
think
got
you're-
away with murder.
Yeah, you think
Yes.
you're good. I think it was probably easier for mom and dad because he would do things like race away into Lake Michigan in like the middle of winter, and he just never stopped moving. And so
Yeah, I jumped off, I guess, off the dock. I
Yeah.
never swam before.
Yeah.
The winter time with the full thing, just jumped off into the water.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do my parents love me? We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
We're going. We're going.
All right, we have to take a quick break. We'll let Clyde go. Tell Sam he can come in anytime. We are
Okay.
going to get to entertainment news and hot topics. We have to do both of those things. And some of the listeners say that they believe me, but then Jocelyn says that Molly still needs her pants changed on the whole crap my pants thing.
We're up in the air with the
Jocelyn.
duties.
Yeah, Priors. It's Priors. Anyway,
We
we'll
were
be
late
back
an
from the
hour, and
Numerica
they said,
studio
"Oh,
in just
you're
a
home."
couple of
We're like,
minutes.
"Yeah."
All right.
They said you had a emergency because you're home. Just 'cause you were an hour.
Some say the trend is chopped, but Numerica is bringing it back. We're so sorry. And this time, your savings account will thank you big time. Introducing 6-7 Savings from Numerica Credit Union. The savings account earning 6% APY on your first $700. No minimum balance required, no complicated qualifiers. Just a simpler way to help your money earn more. Want to grow your savings even faster? Pair your 6-7 savings account with your Round Up to Savings. Every time you use your Numerica debit card, your purchases will round up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes straight into your 6-7 account. So yeah, the virtual trend may be questionable, but the earnings are elite. Check out numericacu.com/67. That's SIX number 7, or stop by your nearest Numerica branch today to learn more. And if you don't know what 6-7 is all about, ask your kids. APY means annual percentage yield. Numerica Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Here in the quiet suburbs, wild mustangs mark their territory, often near the mailbox. Sometimes in Gary's hydrangeas.
My precious babies!
And this month, the herd grows by one.
It's Northern Quest's $100,000 highway horsepower giveaway. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card to enter, earn 4 times entries every Tuesday, and get ready to assert your cul-de-sac dominance in a brand new Mustang. The highway horsepower giveaway, only at Northern Quest. Northern Quest is giving away a guaranteed $1 million. Which kind of speaks for itself. Unfortunately, I've got another 16 seconds to burn here. Did I mention the $1 million? Cash money.
The Quest for the Million giveaway.
Oh, thank goodness.
Only at Northern Quest.
I'm a finicky old geezer. I just don't recommend many things.
Hi, Dallas Lowe with Golden Rule Break. You know, all of us at one time or another need a little help getting to the next paycheck.
My name is Marion Sawyer. I lived up on the north side since 1968. I went to the Golden Rule on Pines. I said, now look, I don't have any money right now. He says, I might have a solution for you. It's 6 months, you pay it off, it's the same as cash, no interest. Bingo! 6 months, I can do it. That's my story. Golden Rule did it, gave me a 3-year guarantee.
Hey, Marion, thanks for telling your story. I'm glad that we could make it easy for you at 6 months with no interest. You deserve an honest repair at a fair price, and we promise to make it easy. Go to goldenrulebreak.com to schedule now.
It's the place where honesty rules, yeah. Golden Rule Break.
Do you toss and turn and wake up feeling tired? You're not alone. There's a new way to find a good night's sleep. It was invented and is manufactured right here in Spokane. It's called Sleep Vibe, and it's a new approach to healthy sleep. Sleep Vibe uses a low frequency, low power proprietary magnetic field that's near Earth natural frequency. There's no sound or tactile vibration, so it won't disturb others in the room. It's easy to use. You just plug it in next to your pillow and leave it on 24/7. Unlike other sleep aids, there is no subscription, bulky headsets, or frustrating apps. It's perfect for shift workers, first responders.
Entertainment news. Brought to you by Golden Rule Break.
Yeah, Golden Rule Break. Thank you. It is the Dave and Molly Show from the Numerica Studios, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. And we did not have our showdown from Numerica and Dutch Bros today because Dave is not here. So we can't do Dave's Cash Showdown without Dave here. Instead, if you're just joining us, my brother, Tom Fridley, he is my co-host today. Quinn is here, even though you can't see him on SWX. You can see him everywhere else. It's his last week.
Yes.
And then he goes on to his dream
You know,
job.
I could probably grab a pad and like sketch a little like picture of him, just a little something as he changes. A little ticket scratch.
We should put a picture of you right here, and then when
There
you're
should be a
talking,
Quinsters,
I'll move it
a
like
cartoon
that.
one. Quinsters, the cartoon guy.
So let's get to a few entertainment-related things. First of all, Rush, finally, they're back on stage. Now, the reason that I love Rush is because I listened to it growing up. And usually your older siblings, they kind of dictate what you
It's
listen
true.
to. It happens all
Parents
over.
and that too, like
Totally.
And
And
I meet
so,
kids like people our age, or younger kids that are all listening to Zeppelin. And all
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
You know the parents that said your parents did right. I don't care what they did. They turned true. There's the
Yes.
classic rock stuff. There's really no replacing it. There isn't with the
No.
rap all the stuff. It's like it had positive lyrics. It was like thinkable. Especially Rush was very political, but the lyrics in that were wide, and they were such fine instrument. The players, they're
Yes.
such good musicians. The
but
three of them.
and that's not even like the Chicago's of the world, or if you go to Little River Band, or you'll see
Steely Dan.
fathers and sons and daughters who know every word.
Yeah.
I can't remember Dave's daughter. She's got a favorite band, and it's one of those. It's not. Maybe it's Styx, but you go to the concerts and you think I'm gonna love this. And you see some 18-year-old that
Yeah.
knows every single word.
Yeah.
And it
It's
lives
not
on.
unlike the horror conventions, because there's people I do autographs for that weren't born when it was on.
Yeah.
But they know every single, like, what's your favorite line? And I'm like, it was the 80s. Like, what's your favorite line? That's mine too. Right? It's like one of those things where you're like, they don't, the
You
80s,
weren't
they
even
don't get that
born.
part, but they're like, because it's not a real violent movie. It's nothing like the ways they have it.
Yeah.
So the parents are so into it. It's like, how do you initiate your kid into horror? It doesn't give you nightmares like Freddy. That was designed to give you
Oh my
nightmares.
gosh, yes.
But this one's like, so, and it was tongue in cheek. Ours has no nudity in it. There's no cussing in it. It's just like, it's really kind of, it was supposed to be, it's kind of comedic if you watch it. It's like an old time and like tongue
And
in cheek.
isn't Horseshack in it?
Yes, he is.
Ron
I can
Palillo
tell
is
you a
in
funny
it.
story about that.
Well,
oh,
all
Ron.
right, should you?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's
Well, I know he's dead, but is it out of respect for his people?
No.
Okay,
No, it was rather funny.
Okay.
He was a very eccentric kind of guy. Very he's very into the art and into the acting thing and all that stuff. And I would think that so far when he looks at his resume, it's like doing Horseshack and things like that. So we're on set, or we're not. We're all in our dressing rooms. It's cold outside.
And again, this is for Friday the 13th, part 6.
Yeah. So he's in the beginning. He gets killed. I think he gets killed first. But the thing is, he gets killed first. He plays this character really bizarre. It's a little Horseshacky and a little something else. But if you ever watched Welcome Back, Kotter, he was notorious. He always wore big. He always had the scarves on.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 dressing rooms and the wardrobe.
No.
So what we do is this, and he doesn't know that, like, I don't know, like, I'd met him when I was a little kid, but like, he didn't know who I was or anything like that. So we go into the wardrobe room and we're picking out stuff and looking at him, and there it is. Big red scarf that's hanging there. It looked just like him. So I hung it on the door of his dressing room. Bam, bam, bam. And I go around the thing. And all of a sudden he comes out. What the hell? And he slams his door shut. Bam, bam, bam. And he comes out. He finally listens. He goes, Horseshack is dead. Horseshack is dead. He goes, stop this right now. And the laughter of that, like, they're like, people are like, oh my God, he's taking himself a little too seriously. Horseshack was never alive, sir. It was like one of those things, but Horseshack was like, you got to be of a certain era to kind of appreciation for that.
we were kids, we would get to go on the set of Welcome Back, Kotter.
Oh, yeah.
And the best thing is Boom Boom Washington. Well, my favorite was Epstein. He was my favorite. I loved Robert Hedges, and I loved Boom Boom Washington. But you get to sit on the couch, and they were super nice to us.
Yeah.
But I remember Ron Palillo, and as a kid, I don't know how much of this is real or not, but how I remember it
Like
is,
a lot of things.
no, that's different. His dressing room, and he's sitting cross-legged. He's on a big pillow, and he's smoking a big Sherman cigarette, one of those brown long cigarettes, and he's like,
sophisticated mama.
and I'm thinking, oh, Mr. Carter. he's like meditating into before he goes on set. Like, that's how he's getting into his Horseshack character. And I'm thinking, these things don't match. He's sitting there contemplating his what he's going to do on stage.
Well, that's the what do they call that? Theory.
The method
like
actor.
Shakespearean theory.
Yeah.
Top of the line, top this one on the Shakespearean thing. CJ Graham plays Jason in my Friday 13th. There's no dialogue for Jason. He says nothing. He does nothing. When we do the conventions and stuff, he'll sit. He's the nicest guy in the world. He signs everybody's stuff, and then they'd have the photo ops where he goes and dresses into the outfit.
Right.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm like, he dresses in the outfit. He just stands there still. He won't move. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Do you want my? He's like, I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me, CJ. Really? Are we going to do that? Like, how complicated is this? This is the thing we tease him about. Imagine this. You're an actor. You get the job as Jason, and then you're fired. And all you had to do is walk and do this. There was an original actor fired from it after 2 days of shooting. But here's the thing, because CJ's a big jokester, and I love to get this in our questions and answers. I'll get some of the audience to pull him aside and said, tell him that the best scenes in the movie are the ones where, because there's this whole scene where they're shooting paintball guns at him and all this stuff, and he's running through the woods and all this stuff. Well, that's the guy who got fired. And when he's running through the woods, Jason, like, he takes it real seriously. He's like a Green Beret. He's a big menacing man.
Yeah.
CJ is. And he's really great at it. But the first guy is like, scooting through the trees. And they didn't have enough budget to go back and reshoot it. So they got him in the beginning. So I should just tell him that, how did he do it? How remarkable that scene is. And he sits there and he gets so upset. He goes, I think you all know that was not me, and I'm not going to be disrespectful to the man it was without saying, like, how the hell do you get fired from a job with no dialogue? All you have to do is, like, The director could just go, make it a little sterner, be a little meaner, be a little
Yeah.
more dead, whatever
Yeah.
the thing is. So the guy just couldn't get it together, couldn't stiffen up his legs, couldn't get it together. Just is this better?
I wonder who that guy is too.
CJ remembers his name very well. I was J.K. Walder, or whatever his name is. He goes, and you know what? I'm sure he was a fine man. And it's like, I wonder what it would have been like if you'd have gotten the whole show. I mean, going through the first, like this, without was, and he's kind of skinny, and he doesn't look. CJ's a menacing guy, but that is the Shakespearean thing. Is, I'm in character. Stop talking to me.
Well, that's what I'm seeing. Horseshack sitting cross-legged, smoking his Sherman, really getting into character for Horseshack. So much so that I couldn't talk to him. I didn't even get to really talk to him because Ron was getting ready for his.
Lucky you.
Yeah. But the other guys were joking around and stuff. Anyway, all right, back to entertainment news. We got to get to entertainment news.
Okay.
So Rush started. So that's where it all got started. That usually your older siblings sort of dictate what you listen to,
Fly by
whether
night.
it's by and 2112 and anyway,
Caress
I
of
love
Steel.
I loved all of it but I'm really more of a greatest hits. I don't like all of the deep cuts on it, all of the stuff. Some of it I do. But they're back and they're with Amy Mann and we can't play the clip, which is a bummer. But anyway, she sounds pretty
lip sync
good.
the drums.
She sounds pretty good. She's doing Neil Peart's part.
That's what a job to take on,
I
because he
know.
was such an incredible drummer. The more you listen to
Yes.
he was like a John Bonham, and without him, the music's completely different. He was a real serious percussionist, wrote the lyrics, and everything's accented.
Oh, I know.
They got every album got more and more just technically more difficult.
But the cool thing is, did you ever see I Love You Man with Jason Segel and Paul Rudd?
Yeah.
Okay, so Geddy Lee and Alex Lifes, they also all of Rush make an appearance. So in it, they love to air guitar and stuff to Rush. That's their favorite band.
Right.
And so I guess the whole show kicks off, and these tickets are like $800 a piece. So I was all in. I was like, I'm going to go to Chicago to see him. It'll be great. I'll spend a couple days in Chicago. Anyway, I couldn't do it. But I guess it opens. Their entire thing is characters. It's Jason Segel, Paul Rudd make a cameo as a Rush cover band and do South Park characters. When the string goes smoky miss, Geddy and Alex appear and begin with Xanadu with their new drummer. Her name is, they said it's Annika Niles, but then they say Amy Mann joined for singing. So Annika Niles, I guess, is their new drummer. So anyway.
Joins for singing, does that mean Neil sang and he was like?
No, I think Amy Mann is just probably helping him sing because Geddy's getting up there. And it's so anyway, but the drummer, her name is Annika Niles. So that's how they kick off the whole show. And they used to always do that with all their things. It was big, long things like that. They love doing a presentation of things. So
they always gave you your money's worth, dude. They were like Zeppelin.
Yes.
They play 4 hours. It wasn't 2 hours and we're off the stage. And the drum solos were usually huge, and it got bigger and bigger. And his drum set would rotate around, and then you get on a different set. And it was just complete musical genius.
And who always opened for them? Do you remember?
Who used to open for them?
Yeah, it seemed like always it was Golden Earring. Does that make sense?
I don't. Golden Earring.
Or was that Aerosmith? Somebody, I just remember Golden Earring all the time.
Well, I'll tell you, I remember Ozzy saying the biggest mistake he ever made was let Van Halen open for you. And I could see that. He said it was just, I watched Yngwie Malmsteen open for AC/DC, and AC/DC got booed off the stage because his guitar playing is so extraordinary.
Tom, have you met Sam Adams? This is my brother,
Hi, Sam
Tom.
Adams. It's a pleasure to meet you. I've seen you right in that seat for the last 3 days. You come in.
Dude, I feel like a big deal.
I didn't know you were here. I thought for sure when Ken was here talking about the golf, I thought you guys would be out playing right now, and I didn't realize that he's healing.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off after work, and then I'm gonna get the round of golf.
So how's the what do they call it?
The betting line.
Has the line shifted at all? How are you feeling today?
Well, I played my worst round of golf ever last Thursday.
Got it out of your system. Out of your system.
Yeah.
You ready to go?
I love
Out of
the
your
power
system.
positivity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So now I feel like the line's good where it is.
And
I couldn't tell by the birthday party last night. I couldn't tell by the time I left where Dave was.
I thought it was pretty low. I thought it was low tankage.
Think about 5.
You're giving him 5?
Yeah, I think he's getting 4.5 is what he's getting is the line.
So
believe,
I
is
have
what,
Sam
to beat this
plus
Yeah,
4.5.
you have Sam plus 4.5.
He has Dave.
Yep.
So, and then it's who buys McDonald's on Friday. So these two play,
That's something
and
to
Quinn
think
and I
about.
bet.
Yeah, and this will be our final McDonald's Friday
Yes, it
together. So this
will.
will be a huge.
It's gonna be
Does
big.
McDonald's sponsor you guys at all?
No, but they should.
They should
Oh my God.
after all these plugs.
Nobody gets more mentions. Yes.
To be clear, this is not part of the Grand Slam, right?
No, it's not. Where you're playing? Are you? Oh, it is. I thought it was the.
We're at the resort. Yeah.
I thought it was the kickoff to the Grand Slam.
No, because my
Oh, you
suggestion
wanted to
would be
play
we
it
gotta
later.
And then that way I'm
You
assured
could
of playing another round at the resort.
That's right. Right. That's
So I
right.
think we should play the last round in like September or something. Maybe we could have one every month.
Okay.
Yeah.
June, July, August.
September can be really,
Yeah.
really nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you got to get one in before the end of June.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your handicap?
38 and a half.
Oh shoot! I
No,
didn't
I'm just
bring
kidding.
my phone. I don't
figured
have
Dave
an
was like, is
official-
he like 13? What's we figure?
I gotta think
I
he's
just
about
guessed
12. Yeah,
12.
I would guess
okay.
somewhere around there.
So it's just a matter of you outdrive him, right?
Yes, I do.
So secretively think about the only mistake you can make is if it gets, because the farther you go, it's either off or just slow up a little bit, because you can drive him probably absolutely perfectly straight without putting that extra effort into it. You'll put you that.
It's the short game that kills him.
that-
Dave beats him on the short game.
He does. Dave's short game is so good. He's so delicate.
He
You
plays
always
more
have a thing
often.
where you force each other to play with the other one's clubs. That's a really
Wow.
interesting
Yeah,
thing.
and I'm left-handed. I'm joking.
Who could learn sooner? Be like, it's like, if you ever, a guy wants to be really manly and he's being like this, just say, if he's right-handed, like, get that football, throw it with your left hand. There's just no manly way of doing it.
No.
It just look like, it's funny. But yeah, that'd be really tricky with the left-handed thing.
I love
It wouldn't
going
work.
with the offhand. That's like
It is. It's just like,
I told my granddaughter, she's like a 1950s housewife. She always asks me things like, "Is your boss going to be there?" I'm like, "Who?" Dave. I'm like, "He's not we're partners. It's not my boss." I know, but
Okay.
mostly, she's like, "But mostly, he's the boy, he's the boss." And then she asked me, "Do I know how to play catch?" And I was like, "What kind of question is that?" Of course I know how to play catch, but I realized that some people don't. So now I always say, "Here's a perfect spiral to the numbers."
Yep.
I say it every time.
She goes Josh Allen mode on him.
Yeah. I'm like, let's go right here, right here. All right. So we're in the middle of entertainment news. So I want to
you
run
go.
this by all of you. These are, according to ranker.com, these are people, artists, for you, Ranker, who have achieved this feat. They have never had a bad song. This is what they say. So every artist has had, like, you go to Styx. What was Styx' bad song? Mr. Roboto,
oh yeah.
right?
I didn't know they did Mr. Roboto.
Isn't that Mr. Roboto?
I always
No.
thought that was Queen, but
No.
wrong.
Styx
No, I
is
think
Mr.
you're right.
Roboto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
That's
Roboto,
a bad
yeah.
song?
Oh my God. If Dave were here, he would do this and he'd be
Mr.
like,
Roboto. That one?
yes. So certain people, they say, have bad songs.
What's their
Well,
good
that was
one?
that was the new age. That
Hey.
was like the new age music came in there, or new wave, and they had to break
Yeah.
into that. Stones did the same thing with a couple of their songs got real.
It is Styx, right? I have that
Yeah, it
right.
is Styx.
Okay, so here's an example. They say Queen never wrote a bad song. Would you agree?
I mean, even the songs that maybe didn't get critically acclaimed when they first came out have stood the test of. Like,
Yeah.
I think Bohemian Rhapsody was not well received by the critics when it came out,
Yeah.
according to the movie. I
8
watched.
minute
Right.
long. I know.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic song. He was such a genius, though. His
know.
vocal stuff. I just saw who's the kid that replaced him with a great voice.
Oh,
Adam Lambert?
Yeah.
Adam Lambert. I just saw a thing on YouTube. He said, I found this song of Queen's because it's not one of their big hits. And he sang it, and it was about being in love. And he's
Yeah, he's
good.
good.
And he sings it exactly like him. He makes his teeth get up with the vibrato. He does the whole overbite. He looks
Yeah.
exactly like him. But it was the most beautiful song I'd never heard of Queen's. And it was so heartfelt. You could tell it was a real personal thing of his.
Yeah.
But he was such a genius. Plus, he was an opera singer.
Yes.
I mean, who else was
Well,
an
but
opera
the-
singer?
Pat Benatar.
Very good.
So they say the Queen has
Never
never had a bad song.
Yeah.
Beatles never had a bad song. I don't know
I don't
about.
know.
There's a couple of
I don't know,
cheeseball
there's some-
Beatles songs. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I don't know the Beatles that well, but I can.
Yeah,
There's
what's
a handful
the,
that I'm like,
yes.
I don't know.
Oh,
that
they were a
one's
big
just kinda-
deal way back
yeah.
when Quinn.
Yeah.
They had,
Yeah.
John,
I heard
Paul,
they
Ringo.
did all
The
right for
Beatles.
themselves.
Well, most of all the English bands, they came over here, like Stones did the same. They came over and stole the blues. They got the blues from like some of the old, like the really old, like down south,
Yeah.
like blues bands, and they play 4-bar blues, the bass lines and so much stuff. The Stones absolutely completely did it, and then they just did different lyrics to it. And Mick Jagger with that funky dance. Come
He's
to your
coming to your emotional
rescue.
See, we have the same imitation. All right, Elton John. I disagree.
Yeah.
Elton John has had some bad songs. I'm
Yeah, he
sorry.
has.
Well, you're a big fan of Uptown Girl.
Well,
so
that's
That's
Billy
Billy
Joel.
Joel.
Oh, yeah, duh.
But the
Yellow Brick
Elton
Road
John
album was all great
It
songs.
is great, but then you get "I'm Still Standing."
Yeah. That's some of that sellout for movie stuff that
And
he did.
no, but also if you don't make a video where you're on the beach and all these crazy outfits, then you can live through it. But that's
Right.
the problem is that, like, if I just heard "I'm Still Standing," I'd be
Yeah.
okay. Then I see the spectacle that was the video. It's ruined. How about Johnny Cash?
Can't think of a single
Yeah.
that was bad.
Okay, Pink Floyd,
I mean, every album I've listened to, Pink Floyd, it rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, was extraordinary.
Creedence Clearwater Revival. What do I call
Yeah,
it? Clarence. I call it
Clarence
Clarence.
Clearwater.
Clarence.
CCR to you,
Prince. Prince.
baby. Prince.
Pretty good.
I
Fleetwood
didn't
Mac.
understand some of his songs, but
Really?
Even
Prince?
Bat Dance was good, and that could have
Dance,
been
yes.
awful when they did when he did the soundtrack for Batman.
Yeah.
in
Oh, really?
'88 or whatever, '89, and still that could have flopped.
Well, Seal did that great song for Batman. That was a great
Yeah.
song.
Kiss from the Grave, yeah.
Yeah,
Kiss
that
from
was
the-
a great song.
Christopher Rose.
What?
Right?
That was Seal.
Well,
What?
That was from the.
Kiss,
Kiss
from a Rose. From
Kiss
the,
from a Rose. That's
from a
From the grave.
Well, it was also in the grave. I don't know the name of the song.
How about
from a Rose.
how about Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah.
David Bowie.
Oh,
Let's
Musk.
dance.
Yeah.
Put
Musk
on
was
your
a-
red
no,
shoes.
and dance the blues.
Yes. Tom Petty. And then Billy Joel. Wrong.
there
Uptown
it is.
Girl. Mm-mm.
That's
I'm
bad?
still standing. You know the
Uptown
story.
Girl is bad. That got me into Billy
Well,
Joel.
Uptown Girl is fine. Ruptown Girl.
Yes.
That one is where she draws the line.
Do you know the story about this? I don't like that song. And
Raptown Girl.
My Ken knows that I don't like this song. So we go to see Billy Joel in Seattle, and he's having beers and I'm not. So already it's like you're like, you know, not that I'm not a drinker. I just didn't want what they had there. So now I'm sober.
Frustrated.
He's not, and I said I want to leave. We looked at the set list. I said I want to leave at Uptown Girl. This is it's an encore. I want to get out of here. I'm going to go get an Uber. Well, we hit it too late, and Uptown Girl starts, and because he's going, Uptown Girl. We have to walk up all the stairs. He's high-fiving. He's looking back. He's singing,
Missing
and
a
I'm
step or
like,
two, slipping back.
yeah. And he's like, yeah, Uptown Girl. And I wanted to, I was like, you've ruined it even more. You know I don't like this song. Anyway, that's the Uptown
love
song.
it.
How about AC/DC?
No bad songs.
Dirty deeds and the done dirt cheap. Oh,
Michael Jackson?
Oh, no bad songs.
Give us a little. There you go. Oh, there you go.
one bad
no.
apple don't spoil the whole bunch, baby. Give me one more chance before you give up on love. Joey used to sing that to me when I was little.
Aw.
One bad apple don't give. Yeah.
Oh. Jimi Hendrix. I'm not a big Hendrix person. I
I
don't know.
love Hendrix.
Sinatra. Bob
Well,
Marley.
Bob
Aerosmith. What do you think? Does Aerosmith have a bad
Okay, I'll tell
song?
you right now. I'm an Aerosmith specialist. They did a movie when Joe Perry was out of the band called Done with Mirrors. And it was Jimmy Crespo came in to play
It
guitar.
was an
for him.
album?
Yeah, it was an album.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's when they were really drugged up. And
Yeah.
it was like that. When they stopped, amazing, Permanent Vacation was a fantastic album. That was probably the most hits they'd ever had. They had, oh gosh, it was like, Dude Looks Like a Lady, Jail, but they had all these songs, and but they came back sober. That was their first solo album, and the band stayed together. It's hard. Like Rush is love about them so much is they're like best friends.
And they've
they
never
were
done drugs.
They would have been
Yes.
best friends whether they were in a band or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they really were tight with each other. And that was the nice thing.
Solid.
Bands, especially with 3, it makes it probably a lot easier. 5, you throw in an extra 5 or David Lee Roth in anything, you know.
Yeah, that is not mentioned. They also have Rolling Stones. I don't.
Well,
and
they got
Marvin
into a disco
Gaye.
thing and started doing some
Yeah, I don't know.
Eagles.
Well, that's true. I don't think the Eagles have ever had a bad song. Who's your favorite band, Sam? I don't know if I've ever asked you that.
Gosh, I can't say a number one, but I'll give you like Guns N' Roses.
Oh.
U2.
Uh-huh.
A little Motley Crue. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I was what I'm
Yeah.
Just in case Tommy and his girlfriend were watching.
Who? Oh,
Tommy
Tommy Lee.
Lee.
Oh, yeah. The Police. That's
These are
I
excellent
love the
ba- That's
Police.
an excellent band.
Yes, it
But
is.
a lot of friction between Sting and
That's
and,
the
Completely.
thing. It's like, why?
Stuart Copeland, I was watching the thing with U2 and him. He was hilarious the way that they wrote that album. He said, because he's such an excellent drummer, but he had all those particular drummers. He goes, I just come in and do it, and he says, and then the Messiah Sting would come in and do his thing,
Oh
and then
my
he was like
God,
really quick.
that doesn't
He said,
sound good.
He goes, I got to be honest. He said, we'd be in, they'd throw me down my tracks and like, all right, you're out. You go play in the pool now. And he'd be
Oh my
off.
God.
And then he came in, and then Sting would sit down. And the thing is that Sting, first of all, his bass playing is like Geddy. It's so difficult to play and sing. And he said it took him so long to learn how to do that. And then he came all the way backwards. He goes, I have to say, he's a master at what he did. He's absolutely brilliant. It just pissed me off at the time. It was just like, he didn't get the attention he wanted. But he says, I'm like, I never do the same drum beat twice. He goes, so you just record it and that's the way it is. And if you listen to him on tour, it's like things are different. But he's like off the cuff. He's like, I'm totally unprofessional. I just come in. But he's such a precision drummer that does things. Some of their drumming's every bit as hard to do as Neil Peart. Some of their drums are really difficult to do. Telling you, some of
Really?
this, like Roxanne is a really difficult beat to do on drums. I play
Okay.
it. Telling
All
you.
right.
Telling you.
I believe you. You're the musician. I
Stuart
don't.
Copeland is a
I don't
fantastic
know.
drummer.
I'm just doing the bass in Roxanne. It's just like doo-doo.
Because everything's completely off. It's exactly the way that you Roxanne. You could probably hit it.
Roxanne.
There's nothing better than always the drunkest person at the bar that's like, would you sing karaoke? No. It's like, how many? Well, it's like, after about 6, I'll do
Yeah.
it. And then like, Roxanne's coming screaming.
Yeah.
Or at the bone. Just like, just come in. Karaoke's been,
That's
you give
I don't know.
karaoke a bad name.
Speaking of drunk people, what was the tankage level when you left the party
It was
yesterday?
hard to tell from my
Okay.
vantage point. Looking down, I
Yeah.
was on the deck. He was down.
Looking
below.
down from your high horse,
Yes, from my high horse. my
your glass house.
Oh, I don't drink. I'm looking down on you, Dave. No,
Judgment.
He looked like he was having fun.
But not enough damage to
Not
really
as-
help you
Not
today.
as wet as the Spokane River at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you drove my boyfriend home.
I did. Got him
and
off.
tankage
Yeah.
level there.
What, him?
Yeah.
Oh, I've non-existent. I didn't even think
Oh.
about it.
He won't be
Oh,
playing today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
curious.
didn't even notice. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, if he was, then
You're
I
a
didn't
good
know.
friend.
Yeah.
The only reason he
Yeah,
needed a
right.
ride is because I left him there for dead. I had to leave. I didn't
It's
want to
like me
leave.
leaving you in the desert.
I know.
How do you feel when you actually did do that? It's a longer walk.
He knew it was going to be, but I knew I was going to have to leave. And then once everybody started getting there, I was like, oh, I want to stay. But then, and then the food of his people were being served. I bet those tacos were
Ooh,
delicious,
Oh, you
weren't
missed
they?
out on the tacos?
Yes, I had some guacamole and that was it.
Guacamole was
I heard it was quite a house.
quite
Beautiful.
It was robust.
Was it
The
robust?
house. It made me rethink everything in my life. I was like, well, what did I do? What was I thinking buying whatever I bought? The
Yeah, what
person
did
had
I
been
do
there
wrong?
like 21 years. So,
Well, if you
post
lived there, would you
balls-
think like, what am I doing with 8 bedrooms and I'm just sitting here?
Well, no.
Maybe.
I think that at my house. But the river going by, it was so beautiful. It was nice. But I was glad I got to go for a little bit. But then I had to turn tail and drive home.
Well, treat it like a boat. The best thing about boats is to have a friend who has one.
I know. We have
From
all
big-time
those. It's
experience.
like hot
So you have a friend who
tubs.
lives on the river. You go and enjoy it, and then you just
There you
get to
go.
leave, help them with the dishes maybe a little bit, and you don't have to pay the property tax. You just go home.
Yeah.
Lake
The luxury
cabin.
tax,
Some
whatever.
people say that about RVs, except that I use my RV for all the time.
You're the
So-
friend with the RV.
I'm the friend with the
Do
RV.
they have a RV? You could pull it right up to their house.
Oh my God,
They have-
that's
everybody's-
right.
If it's big, they got to have the RV, whatever that.
Well, you don't even need, all you need is a plug.
Yeah, you just need the port.
plug. And
Big-
actually,
like
you
a
can
big
just
ugly orange extension
dry
cord
clean
out
up.
there.
We've done that before at our friend's beautiful, beautiful river house. They have this, it's the setting is so gorgeous. And then you see one long orange cord out the back of their house, parked, like plugged to our thing.
So you're basically Cousin Eddie.
We are crappers full.
Do you remember in
Sorry about that.
Vacation movie, where, oh God, it was so funny. It was
That's what we were just talking
is that
about.
it?
Yeah, Dennis Quaid.
Dennis
Yeah.
Quaid.
Yeah. Yes.
Where he calls by the microwave. He goes, "Yeah, I got that plate in my head." He goes, "Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I piss myself and I just, I forget my name. But other than that, it's just hilarious." He goes, "How you going?" "Yeah, can I use your? I just want to build that. I got to get that. It's just getting a little stinky out there.
And that's when he doesn't say crapper, he says the other words.
Right.
But
Was that bad to say that?
No,
no, I didn't.
Molly edited
No,
it for
I'm
herself.
editing
But I'm-
myself. No,
Okay,
but
but
no, I'm
am I in
editing.
trouble?
Yeah, I
You were
don't.
good.
I
You're
think
the
you're
same.
okay. I
Send
think
the
you're okay.
fines- send the
I think
fines
you're
to
okay.
501
Why we just
East
we
13th.
just. All right, we are going to take our last break and then come back with our hot topics. Any final words before your big round today, Sam?
No, other than this is for the people. We know this is I'm America's choice here, and everybody else is rooting against Dave, and I'll try to do you justice.
Well said.
It's well said without him here.
I'd like a moment of silence after that.
I don't know how that's going to go over America's
No,
team.
wish me luck is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Do you want to change the odds at all?
No, I think that's good.
You could?
Honestly, I think you could beat me by 6 to 8.
Really?
Yeah.
With 5?
Yeah. No, on like 6 to 8 total.
What is the weather forecast?
Well, from
If
what
it
I'm
was like
hearing-
yesterday, it's like cold and then windy and
Yeah.
I'm hearing there's rain in the forecast.
Uh-oh.
I thought, now look, if I see one thing and then I see another, what I heard on our morning show today
Yes.
was one thing, and that's saying 2 p.m. is when the rain's supposed to be rolling in. I don't know if that was for Coeur d'Alene specifically, but like when I Google Coeur d'Alene weather,
Yeah.
it shows about 4, which is right when we should be getting
Oh,
off the course.
perfect.
Do you
So
know how
hopefully that's
hilarious that is? That you're sitting there, I'm looking right out there like, you guys
Yeah.
don't know what the weather is, huh? It's like, isn't it right nearby? Don't they do the weather right
It's
there?
Spinny.
I'm going to Google it. I don't trust the...
I know what Spinny said. Well, but tomorrow we'll be back. Dave will be back, and we'll be back co-anchoring. It'll be with you.
Fantastic.
Yeah?
It'll be me, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
be here.
So we'll co-anchor.
Good
Great
luck
seeing
to you.
you.
I
Yeah,
believe in you.
yeah.
I'll put money. How much money you have to put up for the McDonald's
It's
thing?
McDonald's. Well, it's
At
usually
least
like,
a unit.
Yeah. Depends what everybody's eating. But
The unit of
Hey,
measurement.
that's your unit right.
all right, we'll take one last break and then we'll be back. It's the Dave and Molly Show brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Be back in a minute.
The time is flying.
It goes fast.
It's 9:30.
You hit
Remember the 6-7 trend all the
Yeah, we have
kids
20
were doing
we have-
not too long ago? Some say the trend is chopped, but Numerica is bringing it back. We're so sorry. And this time, your savings account will thank you big time. Introducing 6-7 Savings from Numerica Credit Union. The savings account earning 6% APY on your first $700. No minimum balance required, no complicated qualifiers. Just a simpler way to help your money earn more. Want to grow your savings even faster? Pair your 6-7 savings account with your Round Up to Savings. Every time you use your Numerica debit card, your purchases will round up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes straight into your 6-7 account. So yeah, the virtual trend may be questionable, but the earnings are elite. Check out numericacu.com/67. That's SIX number 7, or stop by your nearest Numerica branch today to learn more. And if you don't know what 6-7 is all about, ask your kids. APY means annual percentage yield. Numerica Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Here in the quiet suburbs, wild mustangs mark their territory, often near the mailbox. Sometimes in Gary's hydrangeas.
My precious babies!
And this month, the herd grows by 1.
It's Northern Quest's $100,000 highway horsepower giveaway. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card to enter, earn 4 times entries every Tuesday, and get ready to assert your cul-de-sac dominance in a brand new Mustang. The highway horsepower giveaway, only at Northern Quest. Northern Quest is giving away a guaranteed $1 million. Which kind of speaks for itself. Unfortunately, I've got another 16 seconds to burn here. Did I mention the $1 million? Cash money.
The Quest for the Million giveaway.
Oh, thank goodness.
Only at Northern Quest.
Summer is here, and that means road trips, sunshine, and a whole lot of driving. Make sure your car is ready for the season with Clark's Tire and Automotive. Whether you're headed to the lake, the mountains, or just across town, we've got you covered with oil changes, new tires, brake service, AC repair, and complete summer tune-ups. Right now, take advantage of seasonal specials on alignments, batteries, AC service, and tires. Everything you need to keep your ride safe and cool all summer long. With 4 convenient locations, 2 in the Spokane Valley and 2 on the north side, Clark's Tire and Automotive is always nearby when you need us. Visit clarkstires.com to check out exclusive summer coupons and find out about financing, available for all credit types. Schedule your summer service today because nothing ruins a road trip like car trouble. Clark's Tire and Automotive, proudly serving the Spokane area for over 15 years with friendly neighborhood service you can trust. Stop on by and see us today.
No matter what you can imagine, no matter what you can possibly dream, no matter what your heart desires, Jewelry Design Center can make it for you.
We have fixed everything from eyeglasses to Super Bowl MVP trophies to all types of jewelry. When people are able to come in and watch things be worked on, watch their pieces, and be able to talk to the actual people that are going to be doing it, it gives such a confidence and an appreciation for what that is. It can do anything.
Jewelry Design Center, your jeweler for life.
Hot Topics. Brought to you by Clark's Tire and Automotive Center.
Welcome back to the Dave and Molly Show. Obviously, this is not Dave. Dave's off. He's celebrating his birthday weekend. This is my brother, Tom Fridley.
Hello.
And our friend Quinn is over here, even though you can't see him unless you're watching. And we know there's something new with the app situation. And we will get more information on that. We knew something was going to change, but we will make sure that everybody can watch and listen and do how they want to. But for now, we'll get to Hot Topics brought to you by Clark's Tires. Let's start with this. Let's start with you're on an airplane, right? And you're flying a very far destination. I think it was Spain. And you take off and everybody's having a good time. And all of a sudden the pilot comes on and he informs you that you'll be going back to the airport. And this is why. Here's his announcement.
We're going to be returning back to Newark because we have one passenger that seems to be making a funny joke that isn't so funny. Unfortunately, because of one person who doesn't want to comply with the instructions, and it's compromising the integrity and the safety of not only his crew, but all the other passengers. At this time, we're going to be making our return back to Newark. The federal agents will be coming on board. Very serious issue.
So the guy had a Bluetooth named Bomb.
That will.
So now they're on board. They're flying to, I think it was Spain, and they're heading out. And this guy's Bluetooth is called Bomb. So they have no choice but then to. How mad would you be at this person like that? You're on your vacation. I think they ended up being something like 6 hours delayed or something. So they had to go back. I think they were already a couple hours out. They go back to Newark. And he had to live in New Jersey, too, to stop it all off. He had to
Could
stay
they
in
have just
Newark.
taken his phone away and just take it?
I think that it was because his Bluetooth was called that. I don't know.
Because you know when you go on that thing, you'll see a lot of other people's Bluetooths
Yes,
pop up on the
absolutely,
thing.
yeah.
Also be like, what? Where's the terrorist here?
Yeah. I think that's probably what happened is that probably you go on and then you see Bomb and it's like.
Oh, no.
They must have been able to pin it on a person, I would think.
Yeah, they must have been able to. And I wonder if that was set to try to be a joke that didn't land well, or if that was just what he named.
What if you got off the plane, the people are waiting for you? Now you're on your own, and all of a sudden the person's name is Jack, and you walk in and go, "Hi, Jack."
I didn't think.
Woo! You're going down.
They said hi, Jack. I guess you have to
it's
separate.
Just food for thought, deep food for thought.
Right.
All right, here's the other thing. So we all love Nicolas Cage, right?
Yeah.
And when you were coming up, you probably went on auditions with Nicolas Cage, right?
Mostly George Clooney and Brad Pitt. But
Yeah.
George Clooney I saw all the time. And his cowboy boots.
Hideous man.
And Michael Fox.
Hideous man. So after Fast Times, or what was his big? Was it Fast Times? So after Fast Times, he had a small role in Fast Times. He was one of the friends or something.
Then he did the one with the baby.
This is the year I'm talking before he ever got started, Nicolas Cage. So this is 1981.
Okay.
So all he's ever done is a small part in a movie. That's it. Well, he was in a pilot in 1981 on ABC. So it's July 1981. Didn't get picked up. But this is Nicolas Cage starring in a sitcom called The Best of Times. And I believe it was after, there
wasn't a movie called Best of Times?
It was the
Best of Times at Ridgemont
Fast
High.
Times at
Fast
Ridgemont High.
Time.
So I think they were trying to anyway, so here's some of the audio. It's really bad. Here you go.
Wait, remember Rocky? Boy, what a movie. Yeah. The best scene was when Stallone kept hitting that side of beef. Remember that? He kept hitting that side of beef, just smashing it with his fist. That was all raw. Hit, smash, hit, making it all bloody.
Nick?
Yo.
Do you ever see any Disney pictures?
That's
The knee
comedy.
slapper.
So it says here, the following year he appeared in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Both times under his name, Nicholas Coppola. So that was
his big,
before
he
he
had
was
a little
Nick
nepotism
Cage.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is so wild and bad.
It was also like really, I wonder how old he was right there.
Well, 1981, he was probably pretty young.
Right.
Could he be 20?
65,
65, 75, 80. Yeah, because he's older than I am. Is he between like Johnny and I's age?
Probably something like that.
Because he was known for it sounded like nose candy.
He sounded a little hyped up. We do have a few birthdays today. We will mention. There's not a lot. Kanye West turns 49. And I do this for the TV people.
Yeah.
There was one, Juliana Margulies is 60. She's from Good Wife and ER.
Yeah.
Nick Rhodes, do you know who Nick Rhodes is? World of Music.
Okay.
No.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Duran Duran keyboardist. Do
Oh.
you know who Mick Red Hucknall is?
Sure, old Mick.
He's Simply Red.
Simply
Red.
Okay.
Holding back the years. Keenan Ivory Wayne's a 68. Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh, yeah.
Boss Gags. We love
Boss
Boss Gags. He's 82. Nancy Sinatra. Jerry Stiller would have been. Joan Rivers would have been. And then Rob Pilatus. Do you know who that is?
Sounds like Rob Collada.
He was Milli Vanilli.
Oh, Willie
Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
He was the guy who died.
But the thing is, did they ever really actually do anything or they just lip synced everything?
No, they did lip sync everything. That was the problem. But the guy who's still alive, he goes on tour and he
apologizes?
No, he sings. He actually has a decent voice. And he sings all those songs. Like he just leans right
Does he
into
give you
it.
back your money? I'm sorry for
He's
that
like-
earlier one.
he
I'm
leans
just
into
trying to make amends before I die.
I know.
Like, here's the refund. I know it's half fest, but I'm old.
They were devastated. They didn't want to lip sync. And when you find out later, there was a whole documentary. It was really good. They're like, no, we really can sing. And the record label's going, no,
They're like,
no.
just stick to the lip sync.
You can't. You guys look great. Do your little wobbly dances with your braids and do that.
How about this one? I did it. I'll show this video to you later. I did a thing. Rico Suave. And oh my God, I did it at Tiffany's house. It's hilarious. This thing I just did and lip synced the whole thing and danced around. Oh my God, I'll show you the tape.
Is it like this real slim, real Quinn Shady?
She had some tights and I really put the time, just
Oh
put
my
the tights,
God.
put the tights. I'm like, Rico. And I have like headband on and all this glamour and stuff. And you see me like dancing and then all I do is turn around with the Rico Suave. And then it's really wobbling.
You
really,
need
really
your
well.
own YouTube channel is
Yeah, I
what
was
needs to
gonna say.
happen. You need to put all those old videos on there.
They are.
And we're going to talk about some of our stuff here. I just want to get through this really quick.
Okay.
So there was one other thing I wanted to point out.
Sorry, Mallory.
No, that's okay. The year that there were two movies. Oh, this was a historical day in film. Ghostbusters and Gremlins both debuted same day in 1984.
Wow.
They both one made 13.6 million and one made 12.5, which is for them, that's a
Ghostbusters
ton of money.
highest.
A little bit higher, but still to have that kind of both at the same day was kind of a big deal.
Theory on that. Gremlins was really designed for like really young kids who couldn't maybe drive themselves and afford the ticket. But the Ghostbusters people could.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit older, so they got to do it. And then also there's one other thing that happened.
Yeah.
And it's very sad because the guy ended up dying. But in
Oh, the Twilight Zone.
1969, Brian Jones was fired from the Rolling Stones because he couldn't get along with the other members in the band. He was found dead in his swimming pool less than a month later.
Jeez.
That's so weird. I don't remember that at all.
Well, it happened.
Wow.
I thought you were going
It
to say the Twilight
happened.
Zone where the propeller came down. Remember the guy doing the Twilight Zone movie? It cut him in half.
Oh, no. This was 1969. This was like,
Oh, Ghostbusters. I was just thinking we're in that.
Oh,
time
that
frame.
84. Yeah, this is different. This is different. All right,
Sorry
so enough
again,
of that.
Mallory.
So we have some pictures,
Yeah.
and I don't know exactly how we're going to do this, but we brought some pictures from our childhood. Mom's going to enjoy this part if you're still there, Mom, if you're still listening. Why does it say lights, camera, come back from a break? Oh, okay. 2 actors per pill. Okay. And also we should also show our little clip that we have from our
Okay.
film, from the #1 film on Apple, by the way. All right, so we're going to look at a few pictures. It's going to go up on YouTube. It's going to be a little delayed, but we're going to look at the picture and we're going to describe what it is. Okay, so this first one is...
Oh gosh, that's my first band when I was 11 or 12, named Rox, ROXX.
Yes.
And that's crazy. Yeah, that was like, we had 3 songs.
Rocks is rolling.
And actually, the girl who plays guitar went on to win Emmy Awards and stuff, or whatever.
Grammy Awards, yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah,
Janet.
Grammy Awards. She's terrific. Yeah, we had Rocks is Rolling. We had Mary Jane Girl, which was awful early for a 12-year-old.
Yes.
And Roller Coaster.
Roller coaster. I remember Rocks is rolling, Rocks is rolling, Rocks is rolling now.
Those were special times.
All right, so this one is.
Oh, this is from the Fantasy Island I did in 1978. I was thinking it was the pilot. It could have been the second or third episode, but there's like, yeah, this is she played my sister, and our parents got divorced, which it was like 6 months earlier than that, my parents did actually get divorced.
See?
But since I wasn't crying in the scene like the little girl expected, she did a little thing that I did to my sister when I was young. She slid her hand underneath my thing and started pinching me.
Oh my God.
And all you can see in the thing is I just look at her with this mean look of like, I'm going to just smack the crap out of you when this is over. Mr. Rourke, oh, but don't be a good Mr.
But no, please, let Tommy come over to the plane. He'll be fine.
What was her name?
Katie Kurtzman.
Katie Kurtzman.
And
Okay.
I still talk to her.
All right, so this is a poster of. Is this like a poster from a
that's
Comic Con?
yeah, that's one of the Comic Con ones.
So this is like if you go to the Comic Con, then you see him, and you can see that he was in Friday the 13th.
That's the
Face
scene with
Off.
the little kids were in the improv thing with the kids at the camp. That's probably my
Karate
favorite
Kid?
scene in the movie.
Karate Kid.
Yeah.
It has all of your Phenomenon, Iron Eagle. It has like all of your things on there that you were listed. I love that.
Oh,
I want a poster like that.
I have a bunch of you know. Yeah, you can get them done at Staples.
I love that. All
You know
right.
what? Maybe for Christmas
Aw.
I'll put one together for you.
And look at this. Oh,
That was me. That's tell you right now. Remember earlier? That was right after the penny, I believe. That was when I was just like, see how I'm hanging on my mom, like you're
She's
my
like,
mom.
she's my
You're
mom. Stay away
I've
from
got extra
her.
change in my pocket if you don't cut it
Oh
out.
my God. Look
Try
at my
a
little
quarter.
face. I was probably just like a month old. I had to have been just tiny
Just
there.
thank God I didn't have a quarter. That was terrible.
That's
but-
all the babies we need. We don't need any more. Look how cute you were, though. You are cute, boy. Oh my goodness. That is a cute face.
Well, I had to.
Who
be to
knew
get
there was
all
an
the
evil
attention.
genius lurking underneath? Is that it?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the photos that I have loaded up. At
That's
least.
all it got.
I might have.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then, okay. So, and then, all right. Then can we play our clip really fast? Do you have that?
Pull that up. Yep.
I do want to end up with one really nice memory of you, and I think you'll appreciate this from our
Okay.
childhood in Palm Springs.
Okay. Let's wait.
This is where everybody's going to go, he didn't do any of those mean things to you. You don't play any more reindeer games.
Is it really nice? Okay, good.
Hold on one second. It's giving me an issue with our video
Uh-oh.
playback.
All right, we may have to miss that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead.
Unfortunately.
We have about 10 minutes left. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So in Palm Springs, this is like
Yes.
back in the day when I was making you pray out in the field for getting free ride home with a mini bike and all that stuff. So this is where I remember. Right after this, you forgot about a good one. This is one of the clever ones. Up at Grandma's, up in her trailer.
Oh.
When I told her, I brought her up, and this is during the hot of the summer. They had a mobile home down there that they come down every weekend. So it's sitting in there with no air conditioning on. In Palm Springs, outside it's like 122. Inside it's probably 130. So we'd go inside Grandma's mobile home to where I would tell her, well, in this closet, all of the Easter Bunny stuff is all in here. All your Christmas presents are all stored in these different things. I told you all about these things, and it was all there, but we need to leave now. We need to go. And then what would happen is I would go and say, you go ahead and head on down. And I would go and run behind. And this is where the grapefruit thing comes in. I didn't climb up in the trees because grapefruits have big, thick, they have big,
So I was
thorns on
wrong
them.
about that part.
Yeah.
And what I would do is I'd get behind them, and she'd walk down this little staircase out in the middle of the desert, and they were very covered. And what I'd do is I'd take the water or take the grapefruit, and I'd roll them underneath the tree. So it would kind of be, and then they roll out by her feet. So the worst thing that would happen is like, oh. And then if that didn't really work, then I would become like a monster, yell up behind her, and just chase her gently into the house. Okay. But here's the nice thing, and I remember this very well, is that,
What would you yell?
oh,
Gargoyles!
yes, gargoyle. Yeah.
I was afraid of gargoyles. I didn't know what a gargoyle was, but that's what he would get me with.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's a memory that I have. And
Okay.
it's like, so in that same thing, Molly didn't have like really friends to come over, and she used to play handball or what's it called?
Tetherball.
Tetherball.
Yes.
By herself. And you'd see her through the kitchen window, and she'd be out there playing for hours. Her hand was so calloused, it looked like it was unbelievable. But I remember looking through the window and watching her and thinking that, like, I can't believe that poor little girl is sitting out there all by herself playing tetherball.
Oh.
And I thought, like, I'm so sorry that I rolled those those you know,
The grapefruit?
grapefruit at her.
Mhm.
And then I started thinking, I thought, God, I wonder if I should go out and play with her. And I thought, nah, she's probably not going to want me to play with her. So I don't want to leave this on a good tell or not, but she was so sweet and sit there, and she was so callous and so dedicated. And I have to apologize to you for all the things that I did to you when you were a kid. And I apologize to you on national radio that it was, you know, mean, cruel, and selfish. And
No.
you know what? I'm going to give you the $10 back. That I took from you. I love you, Molly.
I love you too.
I'm sorry for tormenting you, but I'll tell you, you at home, it's given you plenty of material.
Yes.
You
That's
probably
the
can
beauty.
relate to things because a lot of this stuff is probably like whether our memories. It's been a long time as far as that goes, but the effect it made afterwards. I apologize to you.
Well, that's very nice. I think I came out okay. And
You
I think
did.
it did make for good content. And I would say that you missed out by not having somebody torment you like that. You have no idea what that's like. Like fun.
Quinsters, get after it. Let's do it.
You know what you don't know about the tetherball court, and the listeners won't be surprised. There was one time where I stayed out so long. Do you remember when it would start to get dark? You knew if you went in, you'd be kept in. Like they weren't letting you back out.
Yeah.
Because your eyes wouldn't adjust either.
This is in the desert, you're talking
In the
about?
desert, I stayed too long one time and crapped my pants. There.
Wow, you've taken
And that's how the
bowel
story
movements to a
started.
whole nother level.
But I was like 6 or 7. But I remember distinctly thinking, if I don't go in now, this is going to be bad. And
so
then
in your mind, you went, I'm just going to play this one out. Like,
I'm playing it
I
out.
don't
And
care.
then mom had to help me clean it up. And I remember feeling a little humiliated, but I can't believe it ever healed. I had all the way up and down. It was black with crusted because I
My
would
feet
hit it
were like that. So
so.
you'd run around in that desert sand at
Yeah.
120 degrees, but you could go out. It would burn you so badly, but over time, and all the. I mean, I rode barefooted with tank tops on, and helmets were just absolutely out of the question. There was no jumping the thing.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad would
No.
sit on the porch with his buddies. I had a little Honda 50, and we'd take up. We had these little cones, and set up the cones. So I jumped from about this table to you on a little 50
That's a
with
lot.
no shocks on it.
Little kid.
And you're going like 28. You're like, and you go, and sometimes you just nail it and crash. Get back on there. Have another beer. And him, they'd sit there like helmet. Didn't even own one. It was
Well,
like,
when I took my son to visit him, and then they had 4-wheelers, he was so irritated that we had to stop and get a helmet.
Yeah, that's
and then
my
he
dad.
claimed that it was
Cowboys
going to
don't
scare the
crack.
cattle. And I said, Dad, he's 14. He's like, he would kill himself on this thing. There's no way he's going
Live and
without
learn.
a helmet.
Live and learn.
And then he revved the engines about a mile from home, and he had to walk all the way home.
Yeah.
He didn't
that's true abandonment
understand.
right there. He left him in. And Jacob could have prayed all he wanted. He ain't getting a ride
They
home.
was never ever gonna get no. And I
What about
said,
the Lord? Get out
I
of here.
said, I'm
Get out
so
of here."
sorry. You don't know about Jim Fridley. No, you only know about me and Grandma and everybody in your life. I said his no actually means no, and it's bad. Like
Yeah.
he's not gonna. It's bad. So he learned quickly though.
Yeah.
But that was when he had to sleep on that couch. I know you had to sleep on that couch.
Oh, that dirty, dusty
There's
couch
a-
with there's been like 1,000 cats slept on it before you.
Yeah.
And it was just like you could see she never ever cleaned the house. You just go like this, and you're like, oh damn, and a whole big
There were a lot
cloud
of
of puff. I was like,
well, there were a lot of flies. It was summer, and there were flies, and there's no way getting around flies in Wyoming
Except
in
for
the summer.
streams, which you didn't have.
Now anyway, it would be. So I come down, and Jake's like sweaty, and he's got a fly stuck to his head, and he had to walk a mile the night before, and I'm like, "How you doing, buddy? Are you glad we came to meet Grandpa Jim? Or what? Is it going to be okay?"
Yeah.
But he survived it. He loved him, though. I mean, that was the charming thing about my dad. He could be like that, and then we still were like,
oh yeah, he
you
wasn't a
wanted
grudge
everything.
holder at all. I'd be like this.
But
"Oh,
you
know,
wanted
that-
him to be your friend.
That's healing up pretty good. All right, let's
Yep.
get back. It's like, just
Seems
put a
like you're
little-
doing all
back to it.
right.
I'll sew that up. Yeah,
Yes.
he's used to fix anything. If you got like anything over 3 inches long, he'd
Yes.
sew that up because he fixed the cows and the horses, and
Yeah.
and to some degree, a vet is actually more qualified. And a lot of the antibiotics and stuff that they give to animals don't have nearly the side effects that the people ones do.
Are
It's
you
like they don't
making a
want-
case for our father taking antibiotics? You are. You're laying the groundwork. No, don't get into anything serious. I'm just saying you're laying the groundwork. We only have like 2 more minutes before we have to go. But Dad would take into account how much a horse weighed
Yeah.
and then how much he weighed, and then he would measure it, and that's what he would take the antibiotics.
Awesome.
Right?
Well, then when he shot himself in the leg and then he came back, he literally dropped his pistol one night. He thought somebody was breaking and dropped it. 45, went up through his leg, through the ceiling. He put his cowboy boot on. This is, a huge hole. Drives his RX-7 stick over to the hospital. Blood's coming out the top of his boot. He goes in there. They start to fix him, They said, we're going to have to report this to the police. It's a firearm. He goes, hell no. He grabs the IV thing. And I showed up the next day, and there he is sitting watching football with the IV thing he stole from the hospital. Sitting right there. He goes, you're not going to believe this crap because they're going to call the police. That's all I need to get invested with that stuff. Because I'm not getting it like this. Do I look like a criminal? I'm in a lot of pain here. So they said he literally took the IV thing, and it was like broke off, and he stuck it in the end of the couch. It's like
he was the original Rambo. He broke his back too, and he fixed that. He just cinched himself up. He went to the vet, got some pain pills, measured it out. Like, this is what a cow weighs. This is what I weigh. Yeah. So by God, I'll just cut
and the
it.
vet would just give him whatever he needed. Like that.
He didn't trust regular doctors. He only trusted vets.
That's hilarious.
All right, we have like 2 minutes before we have to go. So rest of the day. And everybody. We have 1 minute. 1 minute. You can hear it. So I got to go do 2 safety net things today. One here. I'm going to take Tommy back to his car. I'm going to go do that. Then I have to go to Coeur d'Alene this afternoon.
Nice.
Thank you for letting me come in and do this.
You're
has been
welcome.
totally fun.
I'm glad you're here.
Come in another topic another time. We got to load up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, once it gets going, it's like it's a long time ago. A lot of that stuff.
Well, we could always do secret episodes. If we ever want to come in here, we could just film secret episodes that aren't live, and we just upload them, and then we just integrate them into our library of stuff.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, then
Fun
we're
facts.
And actually, we could probably do it where we could cuss and everything if we wanted to.
We did have people, but you know what? We could both say the story, and then people decide on who's right or wrong at the end.
Right.
There you go. We'll
Why
do
you
that.
lying?
Well, and I think my mom's been watching. Our mom has been watching the whole time.
Yeah, I've been
so
seeing texts and.
I'll go home to notes.
Yeah.
First of all,
they say you sound like Johnny. A lot of people said you sounded like Johnny. But the good thing is too. Now we know if 10 Dave's out. Now we.
This is the hard out, right?
Yeah, this is the hard out. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great afternoon. Dave and Molly Show.
Bye.
From the Numerica studio, this has been the Dave and Molly Show, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. And remember, if you missed this show or any other show, you can always find them wherever you get your podcasts.